Bugle Boys. Bugle Boys. Bugle. Bugle. Bugle Boys. Bugle Boys. Bugle Boys. Bugle Boys. Bugle.
Bugle Boys.
Gotcha, bitch!
You're not my dad!
Guess who? Guess who?
Guess who? It's the Bugle Boys. That's who.
I was gonna guess that.
Okay, I was just making sure. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Bugle Boys Podcast, episode 7. It's episode 7, right? Episode 7 of the new version 2.0? I think so. Episode 7?
It is 7, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I was
fucking,
gonna say
dude,
6.
it's episode 7. We were bumping hard. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Chrissy Stacks Edwards. Host Malone, you know, for those of you who don't know, now you do. Join with me are the usual suspects, Papi Chulo,
Hey,
Mr.
y'all.
Vintage 905, hanging out in the dad hat. Looks like your regular Uncle Mike, but, you know, he's chilling tonight. Proud owner of Vintage 905.
Call me Mike's Hard Lemonade.
I feel like people
Ooh.
can probably smell you just by looking at you.
Good.
Dude, he had a long night, and he's just having a few beers to take the edge off.
I've had a
okay?
crazy week.
Yeah, he's just having a few beers, take the edge off, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you got your New Balance shoes?
You know what my brand is?
What?
Can you guess?
Marlboros? Oh, cigarettes?
Yeah, no beer.
Blue?
It's
Love it.
Wilson Canadian. Swear, for the
Damn.
podcast listeners, I have a blue hat on.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
feels
those of
like
you
a
Bad
listening.
Blue. Taylor put me onto it recently.
It's
Taylor's gone pretty much full dad mode, and so he brings home beers like that all the time, and I'm like, all right, I get it.
Come here, Tom. Have a beer with your father.
He's ready to be a dad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
except not really.
And
He just doesn't like leaving the house.
all right, well let's get,
T-bone.
all right, let's get through the introductions. And back in the building is Mr. Illaudible Long Sleeve Steve, ready to rock the mic and rock your world. Ladies,
me
you can
some
get in his
shots.
DMs and let him say what's up because you know what? He's just trying to meet a nice girl, that's all.
Shots fired.
I wasn't even trying to fire shots. I forgot
Shots
which one I
fired
hit.
into his DM.
Damn, sorry.
Girls are
Yeah.
shooting their shot.
Sorry, but yeah, for sure, definitely shoot your shot at Tom. He's ready to fuck.
Whoa,
Oh, sorry, I don't know
I
why I
mean-
said that. I got a little aggressive.
you read
I'm
me,
loose-lipped on these Friday podcasts, man. I come in too lubricated, and I'm just ready to hang out and have a good time.
I think that's just the vibe I put out too. You know, it's just like,
Yeah, you come over, you know, you always got cologne on and stuff. It's weird.
no, I don't. I actually
No,
didn't even put
I know.
deodorant
I
on.
don't
That's
think
just his animalistic scent.
Yeah, now you never got a smell, but I was just, you know, trying to, you know, add to the effect.
I don't think I smell very much unless I like really sweat. You know,
Well,
I
that's
don't really
good.
have much of a body odor.
Or maybe that's just
And
what
I don't
you think.
snore.
Ooh,
That's a big one.
That's a big one. That's a pretty big thing.
That's a big
Hey,
thing.
ladies.
He's not a snorer.
But I don't like sharing the bed. That's the one thing that's a huge downfall.
I was gonna
roll
say-
a lot. I like to I have pillows on both sides that I roll, and I like get my foot up on or my leg up on, so my hips feel good and everything. It's hard to do with someone on the other side.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
I'd
he's.
probably be one of those people that has like separate beds. You know?
So yeah, you're not. I was gonna say, oh, okay, hey, maybe he's a cuddler. No, not a
No,
cuddler.
yeah, but then like, all right.
Then he
I'm
wants to
falling
kick you to
asleep.
the side.
Nah, who knows? Maybe.
We should all give our personal opinions on cuddling.
Well, I mean, it is National Women's Day, so shouts out to the women in the
Shouts
world.
out to all the ladies.
Cuddling just made me thought about women because that's, you know, typically who I would cuddle.
Well,
just
man-
for me, but
Not true.
I mean, unless
We've
we're at the
cuddled
cottage
many
camp.
times.
Well, camping, it gets cold, man. You got to
Yeah.
keep warm. Sometimes you got to just surround yourself with good friends. And
That's
you know,
just a survival
Remember
thing.
at the
exactly. You don't
canoe
want to
trip
die,
how it was raining? Those we had that like tarp city.
dude.
There was a lot of cuddling.
There was a
man.
lot of cuddling, dude. I
That,
had
wa- that was like our Brokeback Mountain weekend.
to, man.
Really,
Dan-
really put the bro in Brokeback Mountain,
Yeah.
huh?
Dad's tent got mucked first night, so like we didn't have a fly that would, or like the door didn't shut properly. Then it got a leak in the one corner, and like I had
This
to
is-
jump into like another tent. And, like,
Man, it was wild. Like it was raining for like 2 days straight. We had to we
Yeah.
had a tarp over top of the fire just to
Was
like,
this
keep some
Garden of
sort of-
Eden?
No. We went on like a portage.
Just like, oh, okay.
a couple years back. Yeah.
yeah, in Algonquin.
This
we
is
went-
probably a dumb question. What does Brokeback mean?
Oh, he's joking because the Brokeback Mountain, the movie.
No, but what is it? What does like Brokeback mean?
I think
Is that just the name
Have
of
you
the
guys seen the
mountain?
movie?
I
I've
never
seen
saw
the movie.
it.
Yeah, I did. But
Did you?
I
Is
think
it
it's just
Brokeback
like-
just the name of the mountain?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it sounds
Yeah, I
like
can't remember. I seen it once with
something
Amanda.
else.
It's like you're working hard. It's like a hard working,
yeah.
like you're, you know.
Right, work until you break your back.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
It's American Mountain.
Eagle Mountain. Freedom
Bald
Mountain.
Eagle Mountain. Yeah,
Freedom
Bald
Mountain.
Eagle Freedom Mountain.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bald Eagle Freedom USA.
That's probably a city somewhere.
Some one like super patriotic guy won a contest and got to name his city.
Yeah.
That's for sure what he's gonna call it. 100%.
I'd like to call it USA, USA, USA of the United States.
Sponsored by Budweiser.
Yeah. Budweiser presents Freedom Town.
Budweiser presents Freedom Town,
No,
USA.
it'd be like Walmart presents
Yeah, no
Freedom
doubt.
Town.
Hey, yo, Walmart's lit though. We can't even talk shit. And
No, they are
Budweiser's
pretty
not the
terrible,
worst.
though.
What?
They're
Walmart
great
is
for
pretty, yeah.
prices, but they're pretty terrible.
Yeah, and I also picked up Budweiser, but actually I don't really enjoy it that much anymore. That used to be my go-to, like cheap. I still drink
Budweiser's
it.
just so easy. Like whenever I don't know what to order, I just like I'll just take a Bud. It's like a McDonald's thing to me, where it's like if I don't know what to eat, I just know there's gonna be a McDonald's.
Budweiser
It
around.
used
is-
to be my go-to, and then I just
Budweiser is like the Coke. Of,
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like if you don't know
If
what
I
to get,
just
it's like
roll
ah
up to a
shit.
new place and I'm like, I don't want to ask them what's on top. I'm like, you got a Bud?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
or,
def.
or if I'm feeling like if they're a little bit, I'll be like, you got a Heineken maybe?
Yeah.
Or-
Heineken's a lot of the time my go-to now,
I like a
especially if
Heineken.
they have it on
I
draft.
go in and out.
I'm a big fan of
Heineken.
Steam Whistle.
I don't mind
Yeah,
it.
I'm in and out of Steam Whistle. Not a big fan.
Well, we gotta big everything up until we get sponsored.
Yeah, welcome to the Beer Cast, boys. What's your favorite?
We've been
hops?
known to have a nice. You know what I actually
What hops do you like? the
just
best?
speaking of beers. You know what I've been rewatching? It's been great. Is Workaholics.
Yeah.
They were doing
The
like an
first few
online dating.
seasons too, especially. Yeah,
There,
yeah.
and he's like, I'm Adam Demand. Like sometimes I crush like 40 beers. Sometimes I just have like a nice stout. He's talking about like his beers he likes.
The To Befriend a Predator is one of my favorites.
Oh man, with Chris D'Elia, yeah. Bieber Hole 69.
Yeah.
That was his name.
With the
Oh,
fedora,
man.
he's wearing
Yeah,
a fedora
one
and
fedora
shit.
per crew.
One fedora per. Yeah, that was such a good show.
We live by that rule, eh?
Risto's always got that on lock.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to wear a fedora so bad, but it's one fedora per crew. I've got mine just sitting at home waiting to go.
Do you have a fedora?
No, but it's one fedora
Does
per
Risto
crew.
even still wears fedora? I haven't seen him wear in a while. I feel like
No, I think there were enough jokes shared around that he just was like,
he
it's
got
not
the
worth it.
hint.
Fedoras
Maybe
are
Actually, no,
cool,
I feel
like-
like
No,
I
it
have
wasn't
seen
even
him.
him, man. You can rock your.
It'll
fedora.
probably pop up when him and Dave do a show or something.
If
Yeah.
you're rocking it,
I
you
can
can.
see
If
doing
you're
it.
playing an instrument and like your band is good, you can 100% wear
Oh,
a
hell,
fedora.
that's
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying,
he has full
And,
right
like,
to
with,
rock it.
with Dave's aesthetic.
If you're
it
one of
would
the guys
fit
just, like-
perfectly, right?
Wait, I think Dave doesn't he wear a fedora?
If you're one of those guys
Nah,
just
well,
chilling.
maybe.
I feel like I've seen that man.
Maybe
wear a
that's
fedora.
why. Maybe Risto had to give it up. for
Oh,
Dave. He had to follow
that
the
was
rule.
the part. Yeah, you had to just. That was the
I
moment.
wonder if they had to meet up and like have a fedora off to see who gets to be the king fedora wearer. You know, who
We
gets
should
to
ask
be the
him what
one
the-
per group.
with
They
the-
do like a Yu-Gi-Oh battle of fedoras, like da da no.
Damn, I can hear my dog upstairs. I'm hoping it's not fucking around with shit,
He's definitely fucking around with shit.
dude. I'm about to
Carl?
send you up there to just to check.
I ain't coming back down.
Damn, you gonna take the dog and run?
No, I'll just take all your paraphernalia.
Valuables, my valuables and dip.
Yeah.
Damn, but yeah, I think they had the fedora talk, and that was when they kiboshed that moment. Well, anyway, out of fedoras, we
Yeah.
should probably start talking about
I don't
some hip hop.
remember how that
What is the
happened, but-
podcast about again?
Who is your favorite artist to wear a fedora?
No, hip hop artist.
Mine-
yo, which rap? Can you think of a rapper that actually fucks with a fedora? I can't.
Jason Derulo.
Yeah, you seem like the type.
How did you say that without singing it?
Jason
Isn't-
Derulo.
Anytime I say
I know, right?
Jason Derulo.
There was when we went to school before, there was like a running joke that Sheldon really liked Jason Derulo, but he doesn't. But anytime it came on, he'd be like, "Oh, it's your guy," and he would get upset.
I was like,
Oh, did you have one? Who did like people tease you about?
well, no, I'm just saying it's kind of like 6ix9ine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, like yeah, we'd always call him his boy.
Your boy 6ix9ine, your boy Derulo. Yeah, it sounds cooler if you say your boy Derulo. Like it's a pretty cool name.
Hey, it's your boy Jason Derulo.
I bet you his friends don't even call him Jason. They call him Jason Derulo too. Like
Hey,
he's
Jason
got one of those
Derulo.
names that you have
I
to say
think
the
they call
full
him
name.
JD.
JD.
Only really close friends though.
JD. That's pretty cool.
True. Well, speaking of Derulo and music, let's
transition.
should we get right in with the shits and break down some new albums that dropped recently? Cause
I think I only
There's
listened
been
to
a couple.
one,
What'd you listen to?
the 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
Guess who? Guess who?
21. Another Atlanta.
No, not 21.
Yeah.
But 2 Chainz.
Oh.
That was a terrible sample placement.
Yeah, I was
21
curious as to what that was referring to.
Yeah.
Oh,
21 wasn't on the 2 Chainz album, right?
No. But 2
It's
Chainz.
too bad.
Did you guys? Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the 2 Chainz album.
We had a good discussion about this already.
I gotta pull
Well, we
off
did.
air,
But we
yeah.
might as well talk about
Yeah, so
what
I mean,
we thought about it.
we've got some opinions.
I gotta look at the track list real quick.
So well. Okay. Does anyone want? We're getting kind of all mixed up. But who wants to get into it first? You want to break it down? What your thoughts were on it?
You start it up. I got some. I kind of.
Well, let's just start off with like,
Did everybody like it?
did everybody like the album?
Yeah.
I definitely liked it.
I liked it.
What would you give it score?
It was
Give it
good.
a quick score.
Oh, we're gonna score it.
I'm not gonna score right off. Probably like a 6. 6.
What was the one that you guys gave high 7s last week that I was blown away at? Lil Pump.
Yeah,
Definitely better than Lil Pump.
definitely.
And you guys gave that high 7.
I gave it a 7.4.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I
I
said
feel
it
like
was.
I didn't give it a 7.
I said it was not a 7 and not a 7.5, somewhere in between.
I feel like I would have given it like a 6.9. 6.9.
I think you gave it either way.
Either way, I didn't like it compared to the recent projects he's dropped. I felt like there was, for instance, like I liked like the second track on it, and then what was the second track? Fuck, pull up the track. You have the track list pulled up?
Yeah.
I've only listened to it like once, and then on when it's been on playlists on Spotify.
Threat to
Some of the
Society
tracks.
is the
Threat to
second track.
Society wasn't. I like.
are we
Threat
talking?
to
Oh, I
Society.
thought we were talking about 2 Chainz or Lil Pump.
2 Chainz.
Oh,
I was just referring to your score.
I found the first few tracks were kind of slow.
And I like the last track.
I
What
found
the
it
fuck
took a
was the
while.
last one called?
The one about taxing. What's it called? Is it called Sam?
Yeah, Sam. I
It's
like
about
that
Uncle
one.
Sam. Yeah.
Sam was good.
$2 bill was pretty dope with E40
Yeah.
And Lil Weezy.
in the win. Yep.
I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
See.
was good
Now
too.
I thought that.
The
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar track, Mama I Hit a Lick. I think that's the one that I've been hearing on the radio.
Okay. Let's get into it then. So, did you give a score? What did you think of it?
I had it like a 7.5. That's where I would have put it. But that's to me like that's like a pretty solid score.
I've got like I got it at like just under an 8. I'd say like a 7.8, 7.9, like probably like just about touching an 8. I think it was
I
really
just don't
good.
think I'm gonna go back and listen to it very much.
See, now this is where my argument comes in, and what we said in the group chat was like I'll admit, like I'll put this on record. I'm just a big 2 Chainz fan. Like
Yeah.
I'm definitely a big 2 Chainz fan.
Oh, I
Like,
can vouch for that.
Been a big 2 Chainz fan for a while, and I think that this record is
Since
really
Players
good.
Circle, baby.
Hell yeah.
Titty boy.
And I think that this is the worst project that he's put out. It's his worst album.
Yeah, that's
He has 5 albums. I think this is like 5 out of 5, but I still think it's really good. Which,
it's a
if anything, it speaks to how good his other work is.
100%. It's a great worst album.
My knocks on it were like the last album he put out, Pretty Girls Love Trap Music, like 4 a.m. with him and Travis Scott was the
Yeah.
single going into that, and I listened to that so much where it was like I love the beat, like I love the feature, I listened to that so much and like couldn't get enough of it. And they tried to like I found they kind of like went back to the well a couple times on this album. Like they have Whip, like Travis Scott and 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
And I found
That
it
was
was
terrible.
almost the same sort of vibe as a 4 a.m., but not as good.
No,
Like
I
they
didn't
almost
like
were like, let's go right back to the drawing board, do a hit on the last one, and they didn't do as good of a job with it.
And I didn't like Travis on that at all.
I didn't
I didn't
really
like his
either.
vocals on that either. I think they sounded off.
Shout out Travis Scott though.
Shout out Travis Scott. I like we
Travis was great last
you were at
night.
Travis-
Yeah,
Shouts out you were
we'll
at
get
Travis
into
Scott
that
last night.
later if you want. But yeah,
we'll,
that was
we'll
sick.
we'll pop into that, but no, I agree. I think that pretty much sums it up. It wasn't as good as anything else he's dropped, really. The beats were unimpressive overall. Like
I
the
mean-
beats didn't pull me in as much. You know what I mean? Like
I love his beat selection usually. There's a few songs like
oh, you know what I did like with Young Thug, Gucci or Versace High Top.
I got high top. Yeah, that,
High Top
I really
Versace's.
like that song.
Yeah.
See, right after there's a few songs like I think the first like 3 songs. I'm gonna pull up the track list, but I think it was like the first 3 were kind of like a little slow to me. I know they made a video like "Money in the Way," the intro song that's got like this, whatever the intro song was, and like I found it started a little slow. I think it was the first 3. Yeah, so "Threat to Society," "Money in the Way," and "Forgiven." I thought that were like a little slow. And I love "Statute of Limitations." It's the next song after at 4. And I think that's my favorite song on there. So like it's ex drug dealer, ex athlete.
Yeah.
That one, love that song. And then it goes into like High Top Versace's. NCAA is really good. Like the middle of the album is really good to me. Girl's Best Friend was already Girl's Best Friend and Rule the World are both like not songs for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're both really slow. And Girl's Best Friend came out a while ago. It was on that like EP he dropped. Hot Wings are Girl's Best Friend. It was the 2 tracks. It was just split. But that dropped a while ago, so I'd already heard that. Like, I'd heard quite a few. I don't know.
I just feel like this album is like, it's It's one of those things where like I'm not gonna regularly listen to it, but like if it's playing, I'm not gonna be like, oh, turn it, you know. I'm just like,
For sure.
all right, yeah, like
I don't think this album too has like a birthday song or like what's another like huge
like
2
a
Chainz
club
song.
hit.
Yeah, like or even just something you're gonna hear on the radio.
or
Like
stripper song.
yeah, like it doesn't really have a standout. Like he's put out 2 videos now, and it's been like yeah, I didn't think either of those were really like big enough songs to get videos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like maybe High Top Versace. Like I don't know. Like what would you say is really gonna last from this album?
I liked High Top Versace. I don't know. I haven't even really gone back and listened to it. Like other than like I said, when it's
I
on
only
like
listened to it twice, and
when
then I can't even like.
when it comes up on the playlist, it plays. Like it's not like something I went to. Like I went back and well, I'll get into it after, but we'll talk about that album after. Like I've been going back to the Da Baby's album a bunch.
Oh man, I've been enjoying Da Baby.
Well, yo, are we off of Chainz right now? I think we're all kind of like.
yeah,
what
Well,
would you-
yeah.
what's
I
your
think
ending note?
I think it was really good. But even like a lot of the stuff that was good, like even like you were saying, you enjoyed the E40 $2 bill. That song kind of it felt like a throwaway from Collie Grove to me. Like it felt like it was exactly from that era. Like
Yeah.
it was the same sort of.
That's a good point. The album sounded like there was a
I
lot
just
of
like hearing
throwaways and
E40
like.
Yeah.
stay.
But
I
that's
really like absolutely.
But that's why it was weird how like he had like that work with LeBron James, like kind of like A&Ring it or whatever.
But what did LeBron?
I guess LeBron like talked to him. They had some like video or interview that he did.
They did the shop together. Did you see that?
Yeah, they
I
did
watched
the
that whole
shop.
episode.
And then that was it right there. And he was talking about it. He's like, oh, like they're talking
But,
about the
like,
album and like
That's how he A&R'd it.
I don't know. I think that's what they were just saying is that he helped.
But he
A&R
couldn't have
the
done.
album.
It was just so weird. Like if I didn't read that before, I would have never known LeBron had anything to do with that.
No,
He wasn't anywhere on it. Like,
not
and
on it, but he's not a rapper, right? Like,
but he
just
could have
helped
done a
kinda
little.
with, like,
He could have
probably with
spoke, right? Like he
promotion
could have
and-
done.
It would have been cool if he had like a little like interlude on there where he just.
But considering they
talked about
kept
something.
saying his name so much, right? Like I thought he was gonna be on an interlude or something.
Yeah.
Well, what did? If you didn't know that, would you have any idea LeBron James
I think
influenced
they're
anything
saying,
on
like,
it?
I think the typically I think an A&R helps like you put the album together and shit. Like they go through like.
Yeah, but he didn't. Like LeBron wasn't in the lab like
no,
cooking
it
up all
was
the
weird.
technical stuff, right?
No, that's the thing. I think people were saying was weird.
Yo,
Joe Budden was talking
shout out
about it
Floyd
too.
Mayweather, A&R of the Bugle Boys.
Do you think maybe it has something to do with him fronting some of the like studio fees, and then in return get some sort of profit?
Probably.
Or it could have been
sales or
cross
something like that?
promotion because it seems like LeBron James is trying to. Well, he's in LA. He's got a lot of businesses. His hand in there. He seems like he's very.
Well, he's doing his show. That shop.
He does the show, right? He's trying to. I think he's looking towards what he's going to do after basketball.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's
And with his
transitioning.
businesses,
That's a
right?
big
He's
reason he went to
thinking
LA.
about his transition. Exactly. He's in LA doing that. That's what, at 1 + 1 = 2. And, so I think maybe that's part of it, right? Is he's trying to figure out what he's doing and he wants to do, and he loves hip hop. He does those videos where he's like rapping songs that he likes, right? Doing them, and it's all promotion. So I think it was a cross promotion thing. Use him to like build the brand and stuff. Like, it's LeBron James, right? So you can get definitely a lot of listeners from that. Like if LeBron James is like people who don't normally listen to 2 Chainz, but they're like fans of LeBron James, are probably gonna be like,
Sure.
oh, LeBron
Yeah,
James
yeah.
had his hand in this album. I'm probably gonna go give it a listen.
Yeah, I don't know if you can really say he had his hand in the album.
I don't think he had his hand in
I
the
know, I know,
album.
I know,
No,
but I'm
for
just
sure.
saying, like, I
But
feel
I'm
like
saying
that's a
that's the
stretch,
branding
but-
thing. That's the strategy, the branding, the way he's trying to promote it. I think was part of it.
Yeah,
Was a big part of it, right? And the album's called Rapper Go to the League, right?
I think that's kind of what the whole. They were just trying to promote it in that sense, right? Like show both sides of the coin.
That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole. That was yeah. It's all part of it, like promoting that piece. But, yeah, there was a lot of hype around it, so that's why I thought it would have been a little more exciting. And I just felt like it felt like a little. There was a lot of throwaways on it, and the beats weren't super exciting.
I also man, it's
and it
hard
just didn't
to-
feel like it was. It doesn't. It just didn't feel like
It's
as good
hard
as
to
some of his other
honestly
work.
take to critique a lot of the, or to not even critique, but it's hard to even try to give honest opinions on things like these. I feel like because
My dog didn't fuck anything up, did he?
the sheer quantity of music now is just like I'm just so jaded. I feel like because there's just so much now that it's just so picky and choosy. Whereas like if it was a lot less out there, I feel like albums like that would be a lot more relevant. You know.
Maybe, but I mean, like, I just. I
I feel like if
But-
to
but
people
where-
that don't listen to a lot more, like to people that are probably listening to a lot more of the just the mainstream stuff, that I feel like that might be a little bit more of an appealing album. No,
You think?
I don't know.
I don't think so, man. I don't
Actually,
think it
haven't
was
even really listened
because I'm comparing
enough
it to like
really
his
think
old.
about it.
We're comparing it to like other 2 Chainz projects, right?
Yeah,
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you have to look at that. I get what you're saying, right? Like,
But maybe also, I don't know. I feel like there's also angles to it where like maybe this is like purposely like he was trying to do something differently where he's, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff now too, a lot of it is just about keeping, like maybe he wasn't ready to fully release what he wanted to, but he needed to just to keep himself like relevant. I feel like that happens sometimes.
But he's he's got a pretty good track record of releasing mixtapes.
yeah,
that's
he does
true,
like he'll
features
like
and
usually
shit.
have
Yeah.
a project every year.
Like he's not really a guy who needs to get his
I don't
name
know, I
out
just feel
there.
like there's
Yeah,
definitely
he's
people
not a
out there
guy
that
who
probably
goes
really like
away.
it.
Sorry.
I feel like there's
We're
just
all
definitely
agreeing.
people out there that are probably like still really bumping that album though. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, yeah, for
surprised
sure.
all
Absolutely.
the time by like the things that pop. You know, like
It's
That's
the
the
number
thing.
one. It's the number one album on Apple Music.
For sure.
That's
No,
what
Like
I'm
it,
saying,
like
like
it's the number. Like it's a number one. You know what I mean?
oh,
yeah, I don't know.
People are definitely listening to it.
like I would like to see his numbers that he did. He probably still did pretty well. I'm just saying overall, like for someone who like for Gino, big fan of 2 Chainz, right?
It
Like,
was
I could
yeah.
say I'm a fan of 2 Chainz. I just didn't think it was as good as some of his other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could jump right into Juice WRLD because that's how I was feeling about that album too.
Oh.
Off the rip, but I didn't. We could jump right into that. I mean, we're
Off the rip.
with 2 Chainz. Do you think we're all on the same page with that one? Like
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'll give it a chain and a half out of
chain
2.
and a half. I thought it felt there was like throwaways on there.
Yeah.
The beats weren't overly exciting. Some of them were, but
Well,
overall, not a lot of beats were catching me as much.
I felt like
But that could just be me, man.
No,
It's
man.
just like-
I think we're on the same page. I think if we're all saying this, then a lot of other people probably feel this way. Like kind of how I would describe it was like, it was kind of like uninspired. Like it was kind of like predictable.
Yep.
Like even when they were doing that $2 bill song, like the whole time, like I'm rare. I was like, I know that.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this is building up to
He's
a Mr.
remaking-
Clean with hair line. Like I knew they were gonna say that, like, because that's the old Lil Wayne line, right?
Yeah.
I was like, none of these rhymes they've done have even been that clever. And then they like that was kind of last
That
thing.
way with
Like,
a lot of fucking things these days though, that it's just like very basic ass hooks. And
Yo,
stuff,
but-
I feel like that's just where it's at now.
Yeah. Do you think it's like it's almost like sometimes they're trying to replay old tricks, like they're trying to redo.
they're going back
old-
to the well, man.
Yeah,
for
they're going
sure.
like you said. They're going
100%.
back
That's
to the
that's what I
well.
found with this album. It was like
Yeah.
I found they just tried to do kind of copy what was successful before.
Mhm.
Which I guess you could kind of say like 2 Chainz has never really changed his style.
True.
Like he just kind of like changes it up slightly,
Yeah.
but he keeps it interesting. And like I've always found him interesting,
Yo,
and, like-
he does kind of have his style's very like
similar all the time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just
But he's
thinking about
always
that
kept
now
it
as you're saying
interesting.
Does he really even have like a lot of hype tracks? Like, doesn't he have a little bit more of like a laid back style?
I would say a lot of
with
his
a lot of
tracks are
his
pretty
beats.
hype. Like
I'm just off the top of my head, I'm just thinking a lot more of it. It's like, especially because in my head, it's a
that.
vibe.
Netflix.
just
Looped
like
over,
like
but-
4 a.m. Like
Yeah.
they all kind of
4
like
a.m.,
I've
I'm
been to a
just
2
getting
Chainz show.
started.
It was pretty hype. Like all the I think it's
yeah,
pretty
but
like
still, even it's, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's pretty designed. Like when I think of him too, I think of like Mercy and like those songs too. Like those
True,
are all
but-
pretty hype.
But that's what I'm saying. There was nothing like that on this album. so
I agree. I
feel
think
like
that's
that might have been the point. is he was-
yeah. You think he's trying to go for
more of
different?
just like almost like an R&B, not R&B, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
But he
the, like,
kind of did that on Pretty Girls Love Trap Music with like It's a Vibe in that. Like that's not like a rap song, and that song hit. Like that was a
Yeah,
huge
It's a
single,
Vibe
right?
was a banger.
Even like the kind of
that's what I'm
songs like
saying,
that.
I feel like that's kind of where I think he's
But I found, but
leaning
people like
towards.
that song. Like It's a
Yeah.
Vibe, like really blew, and I found like
it's a
nothing,
dope beat.
nothing like but nothing on this album. Even like the songs that he did in that
Yeah.
style really are catching like that.
But I
What-
feel like kind of that's where. What
I
they're
think so
attempting
too.
to-
I think he
to-
kind of wants to make more songs like.
Yeah.
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 There
Well-
wasn't anything like Riverdale, man. Like Riverdale on the last album was so hard. Just
Yeah.
like or like there was no like trap check. Like there's nothing like hard. Like I don't know.
Nah.
Everything was just not as good.
And
But it was still good. Like if it was just another album like somebody put out, I'd be like, oh, this is really good.
yeah, but you expect like at least a couple hard tracks from 2 Chainz. Like it doesn't have to be like a straight hard track,
Set
but
the
like
bar too high.
NCAA, and wow, what's the song I really like? Statute of Limitations. That's the
Statute of
most
Limitations.
that's the most slept on song on the whole
wasn't-
album.
Yeah, I was telling you, I wasn't feeling that
love
song
that.
when I was first listening to it.
I just like I like just the wordplay, like where he's saying all the names, like in the cities that, like, cause it's just he's trying to like tell the story about him like serving
don't think I
drugs,
was-
like
I wasn't
Statute of
feeling the
Limitations
beat.
is up. Oh, I really like the beat. I like the piano on it, and
I wasn't overly excited.
just like he's like every time the Sixers came to Atlanta, he's like, I used to serve it to Chuck. We're talking about Charles Barkley,
yeah.
like Southside
I
used to
mean-
serve Little John. Like he just had so much good like wordplay with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a 2 Chainz guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure if I listen to it again, I might like more of it. But like I said, like we're all thinking, I think we're all saying it's not his best project, and I don't think there's gonna be a lot of ones that we all go back to.
I'd say it's his
Or that-
5th best album that he's put out
See,
out of 5, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
Which really speaks is like if you look at, say, Eminem, like, what's Eminem's worst album?
Wow, what was the last one he dropped?
Just like if you were to say like
Kamikaze?
maybe something like that.
Was
like,
that his last one?
Say even Kamikaze or like
What's the one before that?
what else was bad? Like say Recovery if you didn't like that.
I liked
Recovery was pretty good actually. Like I'm trying to think. What was
I
actually...
liked Relapse a lot. Sorry.
Yeah. So say like whichever one you didn't like, and then compare it to like the Eminem Show or Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah.
And that's a huge drastic difference.
True.
And you take Rapper Go to the League and then compare it to Collie Grove or Boats 2, whatever you think is his best album. And it's like, okay, it's not a huge difference, which I think really speaks to the quality of 2 Chainz rapping. So these are not shots. We're still a fan. I just think it's his worst album, but a very good album. So
yeah, comparing it to his other projects.
Fair.
I mean, that's a
Fair assessment.
yeah. That's how I feel on it.
Off the first couple plays. This is, for all you know.
I think he should keep. I think he. My overall verdict, though, I think he should keep rapping and not go to the league.
Yeah, no, keep rapping.
Keep rapping 2 Chainz.
You don't need to go to the league. You're good. You're good. Stay in the rap circle.
Rapper Go to the League, Tom.
Neither.
Oh, it's beef.
What's he gonna do?
Hit a gunshot.
What's he gonna do?
I beat the pussy up.
Oh, he's gonna beat.
I hit the wrong button.
Porn star.
It was the wrong
I mean, he's
button.
only done it a couple times in his life.
Times, yeah.
Damn. Ooh, pull it up.
Transition.
Transition.
I was trying to read that list of singles that came out. And I
Oh,
didn't-
there's some
what's
crazy
that-
singles.
Did I listen to that Freddie? I feel like
Ugly God put out a single.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear.
YBN Corday is a single. I haven't heard either of these.
What was the YBN Corday one? Because I was bumping.
Have Mercy.
I don't know if I listened to it. One of his new
New music
track I
Friday.
didn't hear from him came
Yeah,
on
there's
the
a lot
playlist.
of stuff
Tiptoeing
that
in My
definitely
Jowdens
did
3.
not hear.
Shit, but you want to jump? You want to jump into some more albums that broke down?
Yeah, well, we just done 2 Chainz so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, I think we covered that pretty well.
2 Chainz was good. I mean,
Deuces.
Deuces, just a little bit of filler. Speaking of filler,
A lot of killer.
a lot of killer, bit of filler, and that's kind of how I felt with the Juice WRLD album.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Ba-da-bum, transition, boom. We do this. We're podcasters. We work on this. We're podcasting. Transition
damn
professionals. We do this.
That dude though, I don't know.
But
I don't
Juice
really
WRLD
understand
album.
That dude.
Death Race for
wild.
Love.
When he did that super long freestyle for like 8 hours or 4 hours or whatever it was.
Juice WRLD?
Yeah. Did you ever see that?
No.
No.
It was on Tim Westwood.
I remember he did. I didn't actually watch it. But
I watched a lot of it, and I would just like watch for like solid 10-15 minutes and then jump ahead a bunch, and he just like doesn't stop. It's wild.
that
So
I do
that's,
know.
like, that's
He has-
crazy.
He has a bunch of videos, and Adam22 even made comments about that before. Like, he'll just be in there, and he'll just start songs are like just coming out of his head. It seems like. You know,
Juice WRLD freestyle spits fire for over an hour on Tim Westwood TV.
I believe it, man. Like,
Over an hour.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
He's probably just
I
rapping.
gotta check
Oh,
that
you
out.
know
He's
who
probably
it
just
was?
rapping his
Do you
album from
remember
front to
when,
back.
yeah,
Do you
could
remember
be.
when Chitty Bang tried to do the world record rap?
I do.
You know what's crazy about that? I sold that dude weed right before
Chitty
that.
Bang?
I met him in a car. Remember I told you that story about that basketball player that I was selling weed to?
Oh,
One
get
time I
outta
got
here.
a call from him on a Friday night. He was like, "Yo, like I got someone like big
Yo.
coming through. Like, can you get?"
Chitty
And
Bang.
I met him in a
Chitty
fucking
Bang.
car. Like sat in the car with him, and I was like shaking. I was so nervous because I was like just had like recently found out who he was. And then I got out. Yo, this is the funniest story. I forgot about this. I got out. I was so excited.
whoa, baiting himself out. Where's the popo?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yo, I ran.
Juice
Siren,
weed,
bro. I
Juice
can't even
weed.
make a
Listen,
siren
listen,
noise.
listen. I ran to the house that I was like hanging out with, that
Yeah.
all my buddies lived at, and I was just like telling them, I was like, "Holy shit, I just fucking sold Chitty Bang," and I was so excited. And I was just like chugging this bottle of rum because I was just so stoked, and I just
You
kept
thought you made
retelling
it?
the story to everyone that kept coming into the house, and then within like 20-25 minutes, I had slammed an entire bottle of rum. And then like 20 minutes later, I was just like blackout. I was leaning over this dude's
How many
railing, like,
girls did you pick up with the line though?
None, because I
question.
blacked out within 20 minutes, and
Hey, yo.
someone had to carry me through the dorms to back to my room. It was bad, man.
Sorry, they probably just walked you through. I'm like, it's okay, guys. He had a good night. He was partying.
No,
he
it
sold
was a
weed to Chitty
terrible
Bang,
night.
so he's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
excited.
It was so bad. And then the next morning, people were like, "Hey, man, I heard you sold me the Chitty," and I was like, "Fuck."
You're like, oh, I got too excited.
Yeah,
Thought it
I
was
was
cool.
way too stoked.
Oh man, the things you think are cool when you're young.
That was pretty cool, though, man.
Who the-
Just I didn't handle it in the best way.
I wonder
That's
how
all.
many people are gonna be like, who the fuck is Chitty Bang?
Yeah, he kind of faded out.
He was
But
huge
no,
for a
he
little
did
bit,
that thing
man.
where he rapped
He was
for
a
long
fucking
time.
college person.
They
though.
thought he was gonna.
He rapped for like an insane amount of time trying to.
feel like
beat
he was
some
a
world
college
record.
Was he a
rapper.
freshman 10?
I don't even know if he was. He was a
No.
college rapper. I feel like
He
was like
came up with around.
Remember him?
he's like a
Remember,
he's an Asher Roth,
he's
Sam
a,
Adams
Chris
style guy.
Chris Webby.
Chris Webby. There
Yeah.
you go. They're in the clique, man. That's what I mean. It was like that college frat rap type shit.
Gangster
Yeah.
Doodles put out a
Dude,
I
tape.
feel like that's
Mac
a
Miller
hard
was trying
genre
to get
break
pulled-
out
they were
of.
trying
Once
to-
you get kind of labeled as a college rapper, it's like hard to like break out.
Yo,
of
for
that.
real, Asher Roth is a
Yeah.
really good musician.
dude.
True. Asher
what
Roth
is
is
that
actually
track?
a
And he's
fucking-
and all anyone knows is that
rapper.
I love college.
No,
That's
there's
all
one
anyone ever
track
knows him for.
about- It's like
That guy's like
On My
trap,
Toes.
man.
I
I
hate
feel
college.
bad for that guy.
I hate college, isn't it? I hate college.
No. Yeah, it's a terrible song. He's some really good flow though. There's a
Yeah.
couple tracks that I used to bump like on the regular.
Oh, for sure. Me too, man. Remember the other one, Sam Adams? He was the one who
Sam
had I hate
Adams.
college.
Oh yeah.
But they used to fucking
Jesus.
joke
Boston's
around.
boy,
They used-
Sam Adams.
Yeah, they used to joke around
Guy's a
about Mac
clown.
Miller and say like, "Don't you write that song? I love college."
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. And he'd be like, "Yeah, it's your boy," and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, but I'm so glad Mac never got mixed in with that little.
They wanted to.
They did. They
They
did.
wanted to.
He was trying to,
They
but
tried
then he
to
went
put him
too.
there.
He just went. He was too much of an artist.
Well,
Too
and,
much
yeah.
of
You know what's
musician.
cool? At the end of the Vince Staples show, they played the Mac Miller Tiny Desk.
Really, the whole
Yeah.
thing. That's tight.
Yes, sir.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Yo, shouts out to Mac Miller. and
Shouts to Mac
Vince.
Miller. R.I.P. Mac Miller.
R.I.P.
Shouts
Mac
out
Miller.
Vince. Shouts out JPEG Mafia. That show was wild.
What?
You know JPEG Mafia?
No, I do, but that was a random.
Yeah.
Oh, they were. At the
Yeah,
same
they opened for Vince, or he
Got
opened for
you,
Vince
got
Staples.
You didn't
Oh,
know the
shit, that would've
context, so
been
I thought you were
It
just
was
like.
insane, man.
I-
It's
I feel like
literally
that dude would have a lot of stage.
he's
presence.
insane, and he has no DJ. He would literally come into the crowd and like rap, and then like run back to the stage and put his next song on. It's like, bro, get a DJ. Like, just get a DJ.
Yo, we.
part of the show.
I guess.
Wait, who was doing that?
JPEG Mafia.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I can't believe that,
Yeah, he
Oh,
went.
yeah,
He went like right by us in the crowd. It was crazy.
dude. Like,
makes
show
wild
up and
fucking
like
beats.
hire
Yeah.
like a. Show up and hire like a Kijiji DJ to at least come do that shit.
No.
Get somebody to come press play for you on time.
Or
Hire a DJ.
just set it all up on like an Ableton.
Yeah.
So it's
Or
just
record
like
it.
a
Yeah.
pre-recorded set, have like pre-recorded breaks. I guess that's hard though if something happens and your song starts.
Especially when you're like when you're in the crowd and that. Like,
yeah, right.
That's kind of nuts too. With the production that JPEG Mafia has, you would think they would
you
probably
could just
have
get like a
something that.
clicker.
It's
to,
just
like,
one dude.
A remote
got-
control.
Yeah, we got to not cut.
Beep, next song.
Yo, but we were getting off topic. We were jumping into the Death Race of Love Juice WRLD album. Anyone listen?
I did not know.
Well, it came out like today.
It literally came out today. I listened at work and then I
I don't
listened
really
for
like a lot of the songs he puts out though. So like, I appreciate him as an artist and I respect what he does, but it's not really. I don't know. Like I usually like that kind of stuff, but for some reason I just don't like a lot of the songs that I've heard from him.
Yeah.
Other than the,
Yeah, I listened on the drive home and I listened at work. I got I listened to it like full through when I was hanging out at work and I was like, there's a bunch of songs on there I liked, and then there was ones where I'm like, okay. And then when I was driving home, I threw it on again and I was feeling a little more. I felt like this one too off the first like couple listen and a half, let's say it, because I didn't get through it again. It felt like there was some filler on there. There was definitely some heat. Like I feel like if he condensed the album to say like half, it probably would have been a hell of a lot
it
better
seems to be a common occurrence
off the first take.
with longer albums these days.
It is, but I mean, I don't think it, I mean, maybe just the ones we've been talking about lately, but I think it can be done where you put a full long piece together.
I honestly think that they're all trying to do the
depends.
Drake strategy where you have
Make
things
more- make more money,
that
too.
are sleepers where they sit in the top of the Spotify playlist a little longer, and people discover other tracks, and you hope that by having a longer album that kind of extends out the length of how relevant it stays.
That's an annoying fucking hack if that's what they're trying to fucking accomplish.
Honestly, that's
'Cause,
what
man,
it feels like. Like, think about those albums that have been coming out that are like the what was that 3-part album? What are
Shrem
those?
Life?
I almost said Eardrummers, but
Same thing. Yeah, Ray Shremmerd.
yeah. And then Drake's, and then it feels like it's like a business move more than like it's like trying to put out a quality move.
I did something I probably wouldn't do if I wasn't a member of this podcast.
What'd you do?
I
What'd
li-
you do, bruh?
I listened to the Juice WRLD album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the reason? Really? You wouldn't listen to it? I'm like,
No, he doesn't interest me. I think he sounds so much like Post Malone. And
yeah, we
and
talked about that
And I think
before.
I'm just like sipping crazy juice because nobody else seems to like really hear it or be affected by it.
Ooh.
And
Rook.
yeah, But I took some notes.
You're sipping something. I don't see the. I can hear some of it. Like they
I
got
think they
similar.
I think it sounds so much alike
in
when
the
they when they sing and hit that
I
auto
don't hear
tune.
it.
They're
at all.
they're in that pocket, right? They're in that pocket where there's a lot, but like Juice WRLD definitely fluctuates a lot. Like when he does tracks with a couple tracks that he's done with what tracks he done with Ski Mask and Slump God when he's like doing his
'Kay.
screaming shit. And actually on this album he had
Oh.
a few tracks where he was rapping differently than I've heard him before. And there was one. See, that's the problem.
Syphilis.
Like, Syphilis, was that the one where
Is
he's
that the
kind of
one?
like slow? Like
I
he's
have
like,
it. I wrote a note here. Like this way, Juice raps much harder. Sounds like Ski Mask.
Yeah, that's when he
He was very.
yelling? Was that what the-
Yeah. He was very much
he
like.
was on Ski Mask's last album, right?
I
And he
honestly-
had that yelling
I-
track, and they were yelling on it, and the kind of you know what I mean by they're saying they're yelling, like the way
Yeah.
he's his cadence and shit. And it was hard the way he did that too. But he had another track on this album. I gotta look it up. Maybe I'll remember for next one. But when I listened to it, like I said, I was driving at work, so I wasn't paying attention to the song names. But he was rapping like a little more chiller, like it was like, like less autotune on it, I think. And I thought that was cool. So like, I think this guy's like the real deal. Like I think he's a little. He seems like he's probably pretty versatile.
Young, yeah.
He's a young guy, versatile. He obviously
He's got a
has like
huge
shit on
fan
his mind,
base.
and he can put out fucking.
He started
Put
out
songs
a
together.
huge track and then
Lucid Dreams. Yeah, apparently that was like a throwaway track too.
He's catchy with his songs. You heard about that with the Sting situation with the Sting sample?
No.
Yeah, the Sting. That's the Sting sample at the beginning of it, and then he got
yeah.
Sting came, and then he lost a bunch of money.
What?
Because of it. Yeah.
On what? Lucid Dreams?
Because it was like too similar. I think they played
To
it
what?
to one of Sting's songs. I can't remember.
Fuck Sting.
Yeah, it was either Lucid Dreams or another one, but I think it was Lucid Dreams.
yeah, I think I remember hearing that.
Yeah, but no, I think Juice WRLD's pretty talented dude. I think he's good at switching up his styles. He has that catchy singing rap that's he has that on lock. Good with his melodies and his hooks. And I think that's
Yeah.
what kids really like.
And he's got a
nowadays.
huge fan base, man. Kids are crazy about Juice
They
WRLD.
love him,
They
man.
love
But
him for
that's
sure.
why he's catchy, right? And he has a lot of those like singing, like emotional ones, and kids are emotional, right? Teenagers are emotional as fuck.
Woo boy.
Right? So I can see how that happens, right? But even for like a person like me, man, I listen to some of them and I'm like, all right, I like some of the tracks. I like a bunch of the music. Yeah,
We have fun.
we had
What'd you
fun.
rate it at?
It was good. This off the first, just listening to it today, I liked it better than. I like it better than Chainz. Would you?
Wow.
Did you like it better than Chainz album?
No way. Oh, I'm just guessing for Gavin.
No. No, I wouldn't even want to give us a rating yet because I don't even think I heard like every track fully. You know what I mean?
We'll rate it next week when Tom listens.
Yeah,
but
because we've had a week to listen to 2 Chainz as well.
yeah, this has just popped up. We listened to it today.
But
so-
like I didn't hate it. There was a few tracks I liked.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, yeah. Well, we can get our rating on it next week. But overall, I thought it was
I liked.
decent, but I just thought it was a lot of filler.
I like
It wasn't as good as the last.
I
one.
like when Juice WRLD raps when he does like kind of like roasting lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's there like his like wordplay when he's like roasting. Like there was a song "Feeling," and he was saying something about like bitches Dragon Ball Z, I'm Goku and you Krillin.
Yes.
There was
Yeah,
something
yeah,
about
yeah.
it's not the quote, but that was the
No, but I
gist of it.
I remember
And
that
I
Dragon
was
Ball
like,
Z
yo,
line,
Krillin's
so
such a bitch. Like, what a good line.
I don't know the reference, but I remember. The
Krillin
line that
is
he was
like
saying.
Krillin trained with Goku, and Krillin's just a human, and Goku's from like he's a Saiyan.
Oh yeah.
And he's like one of the which is
Oh,
like
so
which is like the warrior race of the universe. So they used to train together as kids, and Goku was just like a million times better than him at everything.
So we had layers to that shit.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
and then
I just
like
thought it sounded
and now
dope
in
the way it
Dragon Ball
flowed.
Z, like they're still boys, and literally like anytime anyone comes to Earth and like fights them, like the first thing that'll happen is like they'll kill Krillin, and like that's what makes Goku snap. Like Krillin always dies and just get like he's just there to take a beating to like get Goku enraged. And
Goku
Goku is like
puts
the
that
Fall
hero.
together.
guy.
Yeah, he's the fall guy for sure, and he's like small and bald. Like he's just like kind of a bitch
Was that the old dude?
with like the spots on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, that's Master Roshi you're thinking of.
Oh.
Master Roshi's a G. He trained Goku and Krillin.
Wow. Yeah. No, man, I like him. I think, and he's see that makes sense because he's got like crazy like wordplay and like he can sing for like hours, like that Westwood thing you're saying. Like
He
that's
can,
nuts.
he can literally rap
literally
for
an
hours.
hour and a half
Yeah.
apparently. freestyling. Well, freestyling air quotes. You never know.
Freestyle, but even just to memorize.
Even to memory, yeah, exactly.
Even if you're just making up
over
bullshit.
different beats that you're not expecting.
You
With-
have to
with-
even
That's nuts.
even a lot
That's
of
nuts.
freestyling off the top of your head. There's a lot of things that you've already kind of rhymed in your head that are gonna come out. So like,
Yeah, true.
still off the top.
I don't know if
True.
I could talk for an hour without rhyming. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if there was no pattern, no rhyming, if I had to say words for an hour, I'd get tired.
Yeah, even just talking.
Talking out loud for an hour is hard.
Even doing this for an hour, I get pretty exhausted.
We get to take little breaks in that too,
depends
like
on-
while other people are talking in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine just for an hour, you just had to
Depends on
talk
if you
on the beat, and on the beat, I'm with my feet.
There you
I'm
go.
in the street. For an hour, you just have to keep making up like rhymes. That's a lot, man.
It is. It is. That's
yeah,
why you
but I
gotta
feel like
pick
if
them up.
that's like what you're really focused on, it becomes like this your state of mind. Like the more you do it, it's
Yeah.
like flexing a muscle, right? I
But,
feel
like, think about-
they probably live their daily life literally just doing that. They're like wake up in the morning like I'm getting my milk and I'm
Who was it?
wearing
Who
my
was it? Was it
silk,"
Corday?
and
Who are we
they're
talking
just,
about
like,
that did it?
nonstop.
Oh, it's Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD did the really long one, right?
Yeah.
Imagine being like 22 minutes into it and being like, yeah, I got about another hour in me.
Yeah.
Like, I can probably do another 60 minutes.
Or like I wonder what the cutoff point was where he was just like and done.
And then when Tim was like, bro, I gotta go to lunch.
Yeah.
That was how British people talk.
You definitely probably had to take a
Tim
piss at
Westwood
some
TV. Pretty
point. He's
good. Huh?
old.
He's a G, man. The best one ever was the
Yo,
Eminem
y'all need to
freestyle.
watch that show, People Who Do Nothing. It's great. It's great. It's hilarious. It's like in the vein of kind of like The Office.
What does that have to do with Tim Westwood?
Well, it just reminded me because it's a British and it's about like garage music and rap and.
No, true.
MCs.
I was curious to what like the link.
And
was.
the dude who is MC Grinda in the show, he actually went on DJ Charlie. Is that the dude? The big dude in Britain that he's got another one of those radio shows. You ever seen that
Oh, yeah. He's
dude? Charlie in the mix.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That dude actually, he went on that show and actually was like spit.
Oh,
He's
shit.
actually, the dude from that show is actually like really good MC. It's wild. That's like one of the best parts of the show is they're kind of making fun of it, but at the same time they're like really good at it. It's funny.
Nice.
Worth a watch for
We'll
sure.
have to check that out, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks for the recommendation, Tom.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Netflix.
This is
And
big.
seasons when it comes to a very
Did you ever watch Love on Netflix?
Yeah, the one with the
Yeah,
chick
from
Community.
Community,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
First season was really good.
Yeah, and the dude with the
Yeah, I
nose
like
and-
him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's always
Thomas?
wearing cool vintage shirts
No,
too.
something. Yeah, no. They have 2 seasons.
Yeah, I never saw season 2.
I
Nice.
did.
Was it good?
Yeah, I don't even know if I finished it.
Season
though.
1 was really good.
Yeah,
Nice. Well,
Master of None.
nice.
Good
Well,
show too.
Yeah.
Netflix be putting out content.
Yeah, Netflix is lit. You know what else was lit?
Oh, here we go.
Netflix and
The
chill.
Baby's album. The Baby's album. We haven't even fucking talked about it. What
The
are you
Baby-
talking about? Why don't you
Didn't
stay
you
on
mention
topic,
it earlier?
bitch? No, stay on topic, man. Just because you ain't listening to fucking music all
We
week.
talked about it in
Don't
the
be getting
sound
on
check.
my case or talking over me.
We talked about it in sound check.
I swear to God, you just mentioned it like. 10
We
minutes
did,
ago.
but we didn't even get into it. You guys went off topic and
We
started
just-
rambling about shit that.
We just brushed against it.
Yeah, but did anyone here even listen to the Baby's album, Baby on
Yeah,
Baby?
I did.
No.
Well, let's fucking talk about it because I thought that was
Don't
probably
hit me with that
that was
condescending.
probably the best album that dropped in the last week,
Um.
and it dropped I think the same day as 2 Chainz. I think it was March 1st. But I pulled it up now. I got the full track list up.
The features were pretty crazy
The
too.
features were good. You had Rich Homie Quan. You had Rich the Kid. Offset. Offset's track was tight.
I like,
that one. I was bumping that.
What were the 2 songs? I know there's Tupac
Suge
and
was
Suge.
tight.
Suge is the.
Oh.
Is there a video for Suge?
Oh, I feel like there is.
I feel like they can make a really cool video for
if
that.
there isn't, they
Like
got
with
it.
him like hanging someone out the window or something.
Dude, the whole album was good, man.
I really
like-
enjoyed it. Yeah,
This
it's
isn't-
not too long either.
No. It was a quick album.
See, here we go. 32 minutes, 13 songs. Less is more, people. Take notes.
Yeah, if you're looking at the times, he has 2 songs that are over 3 minutes. One,
And there's no filler
maybe 3
whatsoever
songs.
on there.
but he has a couple that
The
are under 2
Offset
minutes.
song is super hard.
100%.
Tupac is really hard. Suge is really hard.
Gone Baby.
It starts out really good
Is
too.
this
Like
Da Baby or Baby?
it's
Da
Da
Baby.
Baby, all one word.
He used to be
I know,
Baby.
Okay, because I feel like that's gonna.
Not
be
Lil Baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is where I feel like he's gonna lose some streams just by people being like, "Which baby?"
Yeah.
Yo,
Not
so
not that
so
baby.
so he's been in it for a minute. He was Baby Jesus before. That was
Yeah.
his old name, right? And I guess he just decided marketing reasons he went to Da Baby, but Baby just popped out of Atlanta. Like the
Old
Baby,
Dirty
I think
Bastard was Baby
The
Jesus.
Baby
too.
has
Big
albums.
Baby Jesus.
The Baby has music on here. I think I gotta check Spotify, but I don't quote me. But I'm pretty sure he's got music on here that might even be before Lil Baby. Just Lil Baby blew up quick out of Atlanta, right? But The Baby, man, yeah, this is a good album, man. Did you hear some? You hear about any of the controversy like going around him, man?
No.
What
He's got
about
some
Da Baby?
crazy situations, man. Like the guy's
He's
like,
a gang related, huh?
nah, man. He's not affiliated. He was on the Breakfast Club talking about that. He's not a Blood. He's not a Crip. He's like he knows people, but he's from the Carolinas. But no, he's got a few situations, right? He ran into a situation at Walmart where
Someone ran up on him and he
two
shot them,
guys-
right?
Yeah, two guys ran up on him. Some young punks ran up on him while
Yeah.
he was in. Let me 1 second. While he was in like the diaper section, like just like the baby section, getting baby stuff with his daughter and his baby mama or whatever is like, and like I guess his buddy or whatever. I don't know what happened, but I guess like two guys kept mean mugging him, following him around because like they probably knew who he was. He was still because he's been popping in the Carolinas for like a little bit, and essentially. They kept mean mugging him. I guess he said something, and he said, all right. He sent his kids and his wife inside, and they said, oh, come outside. So he basically went outside, and he knew what they were going to do, and I guess they pulled something out, and something happened.
Did he shoot back?
Yeah, he was fine, and someone didn't make it, but he was self-defense, and it was all good, and then he dropped his, what's it called? His last project before that. I can't remember what it's called. But
Man, like
he had that one. That was nice.
the really annoying thing about those shootouts is all the innocent people all around them. Why don't they just do it like cowboys and like, yo, let's walk over here into an open field and do it, Do it
I don't
in a
even know.
respectable way.
I don't know where it happened, and honestly, like
Do a
he was
10-pace shootout like men.
He was being a man. He was with his family, like, in the
So-
diaper section. Two guys ran up on him like twice, kept walking around and told him to come outside. He could have done it. They could have happened right there.
There's
right?
a direct.
Yeah,
They
quote
went
here.
outside
to the
away.
parking lot.
They went,
probably.
I don't know the full
I'm just
details.
saying,
I
like,
just know that he went
I'm
out.
just saying it'd be cool if it was more respectable to do like high noon.
I get
duels,
it. Yeah,
know?
for sure. But like
We
that's
should bring that back.
well, I don't know.
No, you don't shoot on Sundays.
You don't shoot on Sundays.
They're not supposed to, but they break all the rules now. You also weren't supposed to sell dope to kids, but
True.
that stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, but let's not get off topic talking about something that's unrelated to Da Baby because Da Baby's.
Well,
Album was
I'd say that's
fire,
very related.
But his
to
like stuff
Da Baby.
around him is like crazy. But that's self-defense, man. Right? Like he's not. He even said he's like, I'm not affiliated with anything. People get smart. People come up after you for clout, right? Like that's a thing. People try to snatch your chain. People try to violate you. You know what I mean? Like.
That was one of the lines I liked in that.
So I'm just
Chief
saying,
Keef
it's not
track.
his fault that two guys ran up on him, and he just
Yeah.
he defended himself.
Talking to jewelry. That line, yeah, that was hard.
And then you had that. Did you see the other one when he was filming the video for? What track was it? I don't even know what song it was, but he was filming a video for one of his tracks, and I guess he
Crazy.
was like somewhere like in the hood or whatever, and just at one of his like someone he knew's house, and it was just basically him and like the camera crew. Like he didn't have a bunch of people with him, and they're just at this like random house shooting the video. And I guess he said some kids recognized him, like, yo, it's Da Baby, because he's, like, from Carolina, and he was popping in Carolina for a while. And then the next thing you know, a couple of, like, people run up and are like, oh, like, did you check in? Did you check in? And then he just kind of handled himself and was like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to check in.
Check in.
Don't worry about me. Like, they're just trying to, like, just try to get something going on for, like, probably some internet fame or shit. But yeah, he's had a few situations surrounded by him, which has been interesting.
I
But
feel like it probably happens to a lot of them.
yeah, but cool when you're coming out of some shit and then you're going legit, right? And you're just, some stuff can follow you.
I don't really understand
And
the whole like
how you move.
come to our city, you have to like pay. You can't do a show here unless you. I remember seeing some interview about that. It might have been 50 Cent. How they're talking about like they used to have to like pay respects to people in order to like do shows in their cities and shit like that, or like stay with. Even now, I feel like places they'll like block people from doing shows by like having a bunch
Who?
of dudes. I don't know. I'm sure you could Google it and find names, but like rappers are like
No, but like who
territorial
stopped?
about, like,
Other rappers saying they have
like
to.
more like underground rappers be like, nah, this is my city. Like you ain't playing no shows here.
I don't know
I
about
just know
that.
I've seen stories about it, but
I see that stuff.
I
with
think that's just like I don't really understand that. Like I guess I don't know. I don't know. Trying to stop that shine.
There's a few other projects that came out too that are kind of.
But yo, did you like? But before we talked about his history, but like, did you like the album, Gina? obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I think
Yeah.
he's like incredibly interesting.
I think he's gonna be popping this year. I think this will be a big year for him.
I think I know he's been doing work in that.
Ooh, this could be a long-term bet. Which baby's gonna
Damn, that's a good
be
question.
more long-term? Let's do like a 5-year or 1-year bet
Ooh.
even. Like a
Who's gonna be the
1-year
bigger
bet.
baby?
We should just do it like at a
Who's gonna be the bigger baby?
We could also have multiple bets, like which one maybe ends up in jail first, or has the
Damn.
first like
Let me hit the vape.
the first like. Oh wait, this one?
I'll pass it to him. I think we should do it for our year-end review. Just put a bet right now. Who's gonna be the bigger baby?
The bigger baby.
How
Do
do we
it.
determine
Yo,
that?
Wah, bitch, I'm Da Baby.
Yo, they talked about like they did like on the Breakfast Club interview. They talked about that, and but no, like that little like Da Baby fucks with Lil Baby. Like they're all cool and shit. But
Just cool babies.
bet-
who's
they
gonna be the
better
bigger
put out
baby? Who's gonna be the bigger
Oh,
baby?
they need to put out a fucking mixtape together
And
that's
call
called
it-
Baby Geniuses, like
I was gonna
Oh,
say call it- I was gonna
shit.
say call it-
Baby Geniuses.
I was gonna say call it Rugrats
or that
and
too,
do it like
yeah.
in the whole font like that.
But like the Baby
But either one of those
Geniuses
is really
movies,
good.
like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Yeah.
something there.
They gotta milk that.
Yeah. There's something there, buddy. They should start a group and call it the Rugrats or the Baby Geniuses. Both those are so good.
I guess I wonder if there's any other. I wonder if there's any other babies out there that now there's 2.
What
and then they're
about-
like, God damn it! Now I gotta change my name.
Yeah,
Can't
little
be 3 babies.
baby. It's like little baby was bad
Two
enough.
babies,
Yeah.
yeah. You got Da Baby. You got Lil Baby. What is it gonna be? Just.
The baby is just like, God damn
And
it.
you got Baby. Shit, there already is 3 babies. You
Yeah,
can't
you
have
got
a
Birdman.
fourth.
Brrr.
He's just Baby. So like, what is the other alternative after that?
Birdman just rubbing his
Baby.
hands.
Dude, that bird sound just reminded
Big
me of the
baby?
Cardi B thing. You know, they're like, okay, like that thing.
Yeah.
Man, people at the office
Birdman,
are
right?
doing that who are like, I heard someone in their office like make a joke about it, and they're like, way older. It was like super
What is the
like
joke?
funny. Like no, just like that from the Pepsi commercial. Where like
Uh,
it's like, okay, that thing or whatever. She
She's in
does.
it's a Cardi B Pepsi commercial.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl commercial.
Cardi
and
B was
shit.
in the Pepsi Super Bowl commercial?
I think so.
Dude, you didn't notice
No,
this?
I never saw it.
Steve
The
Carell.
fuck?
Cardi
Oh,
B
wait,
is
no, I'm
so
thinking of the
big.
Little
She was in
John
there
one
too,
too,
though.
yeah.
They were both in that one, but
Yeah.
she was the main one because she was in a couple variations of it, I think.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
been like super
Just
famous
remind-
people in Pepsi commercials, man. For
Yeah.
them to do Cardi B, it's like that shows how big she is right now. Like that's crazy.
yeah, and it just reminded me of it because I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah.
Okay, what is
And
it?
then it was just weird. It's just like some older chick. Nah, is that ageist that I just said that?
Why didn't they get Birdman to do
Well,
that?
just someone that I didn't expect was like saying it like talk like with like another coworker. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it just was so funny. But I guess because it was Super Bowl, so But just she was someone who I would not anticipate, knowing who Cardi B was. You know what I mean? But I guess everyone knows who Cardi,
Cardi
B is.
B,
At this point.
you know me.
Everyone knows her. At this
Bodak
point, I
Yellow
think.
was massive.
So big. If you wanted
I
to.
don't think she knows Kodak Yellow. Kodak Yellow.
She knows Bodak Yellow,
Bodak Yellow, but
not Kodak Black.
not Kodak Black.
Black. So
Yeah, what the fuck were we talking about?
You were finishing up on your Baby score.
Yeah, Baby's album was
Oh, wait,
tight.
no,
I like
yours
that
said
better
we're
than
gonna
Juice
score
WRLD. I
again.
like that better than 2 Chainz. I'll give that a solid.
Yeah, I'd probably see that album being better than 2
I give it a fucking I'll give it off a couple
the
listens. 8.5.
8.5. Whoa.
8.5
for Juice WRLD,
No,
sorry,
for
for
the baby.
the baby.
Baby on Baby.
Wow.
You know
Do
what?
you
I
also
might
think
give him
part
a
of that-
fucking
You're going higher. Holy shit.
8.8.
Whoa.
8.8. Give him an
8.8.
extra 0.3. 8.8. 8.8.
Do you think part of that is the fact that it's a more condensed
Yes,
album?
I think that makes albums better.
It's a more compact listening experience. You don't get
It's
as
a better
tired
album.
out trying to get through it kind of thing.
I think if you add another 11 tracks to the Baby's album, it's not going to be nearly as good. If that album is 22 tracks instead of 11 or whatever it was, it's not going to be nearly as good because all the like the hype and the fun and like the quick like bouncing around from song to song, it's going to get dragged out. Like
Yeah, I guess maybe he's not even the kind of artist. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but just
Yeah, you
not
gotta listen to
typically
him a little
going
more,
to-
yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
need to do a lot
long,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, put that on your ride home from your training. It'll get you It'll get you pumped. I was gonna say piped.
It'll get you
Piped.
piped,
It'll
bud.
get you piped up, dog.
Buddy. I'll put on some Da Baby and Chrissy will give you the pipe, bud.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was weird there, bud.
You said it, not me. I'm just reiterating, bud.
Shit, but yeah, maybe it was a condensed. I mean, maybe that is what helps, but I
But
think
do you
it
not agree
depends. I
though?
think it depends on like the quality. Like,
Do you not agree on this
albums
exact?
that you
But
like.
think about this exact album. Do you not think if you just double the length of it, it would be not as good?
But what if it was all heat, like at the same? You know what I mean?
I think it might. I think even. But then I think some of the
You get
songs that aren't as
tired of
good.
it?
I think some of the songs that weren't as good, or that I think some of the songs wouldn't seem as good.
Yo, but if
If you just keep like, you know what I mean? So, like, if you have a really like good meal or whatever, you don't need to just keep eating and eating and eating. Like, there's only so much you want to have, right?
But there's
like,
a reason why. But I feel like I could go through the Juice WRLD album and I could like just pick the songs I like and make that an album. But
Yeah.
If it was a bunch, if they were all great, I probably would have liked it. I just felt like there was filler in there.
uh-huh.
So if the filler tracks were
22 is just too much.
really good,
I don't think you can do 22 heater tracks though. I don't think
Anymore?
anyone can
Well,
really do
think about
that.
what's the longest album you think? Offhand, I can't even think of the longest album I liked.
That's a good question.
Right?
There are like there's definitely albums that are long that I
Good
like.
How
Mad
long was
City?
Get Rich or Die Trying? That was
Probably about an hour.
Good Kid, Mad City.
that's double the
That's,
length.
yeah, there's two really good examples.
Well, yeah, but double the length. If that's an hour, that's double the length of the Baby's album.
Good Kid is.
And that was all. That's a phenomenal album.
Good Kid. Those are two of the best albums ever. Good Kid is an hour 36. There you go. There is an hour and a half.
That's what I mean. It
and
can't
that
be done
album-
if you fucking fill it up
But
with
even
just
then-
That is
pure-
it's 18 songs. It's a concept album. It's fucking beautiful. It tells a whole story. The Baby's not. But the Baby's not. The Baby album isn't
That
gonna
we
tell
know
you,
of.
The Baby's not going to tell you
Okay.
a vivid story like
that we know of.
like the Baby's
that we
not.
know of.
The
Give the
Baby's
man a break, man.
The Baby's
you don't know
not.
where he's going
The Baby's
with
not
this shit,
Kendrick
dude.
Lamar. No other
We
rapper is
don't
Kendrick
know.
Lamar.
I'm saying we don't know. I'm saying
No
look into
other
it, dude.
rapper can do that.
You be up to no good.
Sure.
Actually, I meant to do this.
1 + 1 = 2.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed. We don't know. Look into it.
No, but man,
Nah,
okay,
I
the
feel
Baby
you. I know
can't.
what
The
you're saying, I know
Baby
what you're
can't put like nobody can. Nobody's done an album this good. I think Good Kid, Mad City might be the best hip hop album of all time. Put that on record. And nobody's made a concept album that good from front to back. Like that's an album. That was the perfect example when you said
But
that's
there you
an
go,
hour
though.
36.
So there you go.
But the Baby can't do that. His album is 32
Yeah.
minutes.
No,
if
no,
you
for
add
sure.
an hour and 4 minutes to his album, it's gonna drag, no matter how you break it down.
okay, so you're saying, but
Most artists.
Any artist,
90.
everyone, yeah. Who
90.
else? Maybe like a Frank Ocean or someone can make a long album. Like if
Or
you're
like
really
Pink
into like
Floyd.
that, exactly. Somebody who's
Yeah,
gonna make an
yeah.
experience. Kanye, if you're really into like Yeezus, you know what I mean. And that wasn't that long either.
Yeah.
But like that, like the Baby's not that guy. Lil Pump couldn't make a fucking
no.
40 track, like good album.
But I wouldn't put Lil Pump and Da Baby in the same category. Da Baby's saying a few more things than Lil Pump's saying. I think.
I agree, but I think he's closer to Lil Pump than he is to Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
So
That is for sure.
see,
right
see where
now.
I'm going? Like it's just
Yeah. No, I see. what you-
I enjoy it, but I don't think you can. I think if his album was doubled, it wouldn't be as good.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm just saying, the only reason
Yeah.
I meant to bring that up is I
That's
just
fair.
think that people need to stick with the shorter albums, unless you're
Unless you're
doing-
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, exactly. I think that just needs to be like
Unless you're writing a classic. Like I'm sure when he was writing Good Kid, Mad City and was laying it out from like cover to cover, he was like, I'm writing a fucking
with all
classic.
the interludes and all
Yeah,
that.
like there wasn't like, okay, I need to shorten this down to make commercial music. Like I was like, okay, let's make
I
this
wonder
like
how much of the time on Good Kid, Mad City is the interludes.
probably quite a bit. It's a lot of
what I'm
skits.
saying,
It's
so,
all the
like,
skits about him
it's
taking the car. Like he
Probably
takes the
closer
car.
to like an hour and 15 with just music.
You know, like what the whole story of that album is, right? Like it's about him being a kid and he goes
Yeah.
out to like bang that girl for the first time, Shireen, Master Splinter's daughter is what the first song's about. Yeah, it's great. It's a great story, man. And then his like mom's calling him the whole time. Kendrick. He's like, your daddy's gone off the dominoes, and he wants the car. And he's just drunk.
Is
And
it good?
he took the van, which the
Yeah.
van's like the picture from the cover. It's a
Yeah.
great concept album, man.
No.
And then he's like,
for
his boys
sure.
want him to do hood shit while he's got the car. Like,
For sure. No, yeah, for sure. no.
freestyling.
yeah, man.
Definitely
it's
not comparing-
really,
we're
really
definitely-
good.
But we're definitely not comparing Da Baby to Kendrick.
No. I was just trying to talk about the actual length thing.
But we are in a way, because if we're talking about, if you're gonna make an album that's an hour and a half, you got to compare it to
Well,
a
Da Baby
really
didn't
good
make-
album that's an
So-
hour and a half.
Well,
So
Da Baby
wait,
didn't make an hour and a
for
half.
sure.
But we were saying
We're talking
about if he did.
hypothetically if he could.
Well, how long was Juice WRLD's album?
An hour and 6 minutes.
Was it?
Something like that. Yeah, it was over an hour.
Yeah, it was too much. But if those songs were all fire.
But if it was 45 minutes,
But what if it was all fire? Like, what if it was all really good songs?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you cut 20 minutes off of it, it's probably a great album.
Exactly. But if the
Juice
hour
WRLD is
and
not
s-
Kendrick Lamar.
So wait, are you saying that the only good albums can be they have to be a full concept album? Typically?
No, I think
couldn't it
it's.
be a
I
bunch
think. I
of
think a
heat
lot of.
placed
I think
well?
a really good album is like, not all concept albums are good, but I think like a lot of really good albums are concept albums
Yeah.
because it's you're putting a message out, right?
It
That
just makes it
and I think
a cohesive thing, right?
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think not that plus I think albums that just well that's a big part of albums
It's
that
also
flow.
a different sound that people are going for. That's the thing, right? You're not
That-
getting that from any kind of like hype SoundCloud rappers or like Da Baby and Lil Pump and shit like that, right?
So that what I was gonna say was yeah I was just gonna say like obviously concept albums obviously have that but like an album that's placed well with the like right song selection, right order that you can put on first track to last track and play it out is something that I do look at for a really good album. Something that I can put on. Nowadays, I think it's harder and to have that, like you don't see that as much. But maybe it is because it's like a short piece that you want. Because you don't want the full one. Your attention gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll like go back to those, but I don't go back to like a lot of these short albums. Like I don't think I'm gonna go back to the Baby's album and put this album on full. I'm gonna pull tracks that I really like and bump them. Other ones came on, I heard. I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a cool track.
I just don't really think people listen to like full albums very much anymore, especially with the age of the playlist, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
yeah,
I
for
listen to
sure.
albums, but I think it's very rare.
Yeah.
And a lot of time too, I do
People
just
in
listen
your
to singles.
position where they're just like putting stuff on them. Even then, like I still feel like playlists dominate.
I do a lot. I do playlists.
Yeah, you were
I do
saying 'cause
playlists
you
a
worked
lot.
at the store, like putting
Yeah.
on the full times. That's a good spot to listen.
Yeah.
Put on a full
places
album.
like that. Yeah, like.
But I
even
do,
just-
like even when I'm just chilling though, if like I'm playing like a video game or something, I'll instead of putting a playlist on, I'll put an album on and try and listen to an album. But I do it consciously. I think
Yeah.
it's easier to just throw a playlist on. I like to listen to full albums so I can like have an opinion on it and that.
Mm.
But like I think it's a lot easier just throw on a playlist. Playlists are chill, man. You get a little taste of everything, you know. Why just
also just
stuff
very
yourself
much
with
like that,
burger
like,
when you can
I've-
have buffet?
I feel like my attention span and I just like I consume and I'm on to the next thing, you know. So like, I just do that. I've always
fucking
been like that too.
millennial.
Like I was always like, when I was downloading music off LimeWire, like I would never really stick to one artist. I was always just like on to new shit. I was always trying to find new stuff.
Well, no, I figured you'd like graduate off of like
LimeWire.
like listening to one
Still
artist.
using LimeWire. Yeah.
Dude, Frostwire was tight, dude. Don't even get it twisted. I'm still on Napster, mans. At heart.
Cause
At heart.
I don't
I'm
think
on
I ever used
Kazam.
Napster, actually.
Catch me on
Kaza?
Kazam. Is that what it was?
Kaza?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's Kaza, I think.
Kazam was the
KZA.
movie.
Kazam was a movie,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a website that we used to use called like
Groove Shark?
Groove Shark.
Groove Shark was
that
sick. You
the
could make a
shit.
playlist
Yeah,
online.
You could make playlists.
You could find like any song, but you couldn't download them.
Yeah, that was
sick.
like
I used to make
the
playlists in
OG.
college. Yeah.
That was the OG.
That was a good one.
I never
Spotify.
used it. Groove Shark?
Groove
Yeah,
Shark. That was
you-
the
you-
amazing,
Ah,
man.
yeah.
It
I
had
know,
like
but I never
a
really got
it
into
had like
it.
a big search engine. You could save songs
Yeah.
like on
Like
playlists, but
every
you couldn't
song.
download like you couldn't take them
Yeah.
on your like your iPod or
You make a
anything.
profile.
But
and
you could do
log
it
in.
exactly, and you could go to like I was thinking like you go to like your boys because I did this in res.
Yeah.
You go to your
That's
boys'
how
room,
we
like
got
sign on, like we'd have a party there, and like
all the
Throw
party
on your Groove
playlists.
Shark
all the
list.
bros just like like make sure you save a playlist. Go on my Groove Shark and save a
Yeah.
playlist for that
That was
fucking
big,
jam
man.
tonight, bro.
Nice.
I was in a fraternity by
They
the sounds of
probably
it.
sold
Were you?
themselves.
No, but bro, show me how it's done, bro.
I feel
Alpha
like-
Pi Beta, bruh.
I feel like Groove Shark probably like they were big, man. They probably sold to something like Spotify.
Oh, they
I
1000%.
feel like someone probably took that technology and just like made a spot. Like I feel like the timing of when Spotify like came.
all
out
the
and that shit, too,
technologies
Dude,
get
that's the
replicated
dream.
and ripped off by other ones.
by most
Even
of
like
China a lot of the
Twitter
time,
and other
too.
I know a
social-
guy-
Everything gets ripped off.
I know a guy
just
who was
tempted.
like his roommate in college or whatever, like an app designer, and this guy made so much money. And like I asked like this guy like, what was his thing? He's like, oh, he made like an app that like it listens to a song and like tells you what it is. It's like, oh, like Shazam? It's like, I was like, oh, like he invented like Shazam. Like, oh no, like it wasn't Shazam. Like, it does like the exact same thing that like Shazam does though, like the really famous. And
It's
he's
called
like,
Kazam.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like he just got bought out by like.
Yeah.
Probably by Shazam or like Apple or whoever owns that.
Yeah.
It's like that's all it was. It was just like a thing that did the exact same thing, and rather than be competition, they just bought it out. And
Yeah,
crazy,
some-
right?
I feel like some people probably come up with like ones that they know are just they're trying to get them bought out. Probably.
yeah,
Right. You're like like.
See that on Dragon's Den a lot. People come in with something and they're like, "All right, this isn't a business. Like, you should be trying to sell this to a bigger thing. You're not gonna be able to make this an entire." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense."
you watch a lot of Dragon's Den?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that shit.
We should take the Bugle Boys on there.
Honestly,
should.
I've learned so much about business just from seeing
Yeah?
them roast people about
Damn.
stuff. Yeah.
Might start watching that. That sounds like.
Hearing their business. Really? You never.
Which one's is
You
Dragons?
never watched the Dragon's Den
is the
ever?
Canadians one. Shark Tank is the
I was gonna say
American
one's
one.
the American
They're
one.
both good though, man. They're both really good. The Canadian one's cool because it's a lot.
I
more
never
like-
watched it.
Dude,
no.
I found so many dope brands. Like, there's a wet jerky brand that's in
Wet jerky?
Kitchener or Hamilton. Yeah, it's like a specific type, and it's like vacuum sealed and everything, but it's like not nearly as no. It's fucking good, man.
What
I
type
got
of
my
chemicals?
aunt-
Jerky
Yeah,
is
so-
dry,
What
bro.
type of chemicals are in there that's keeping it wet?
I don't fucking know.
If you want some wet.
It just doesn't last nearly.
The
as long
wetter,
on
the
shelf
Dude,
better.
you
as
trying to
well.
get wet tonight, dude? You a fucking angel dust head, dude? Trying to
Jeez.
get wet?
You trying to
Angel death?
trying to wet your
Du-
jerky?
Dust?
No, but
Angel
and
death?
there's a I know, it's a good show. Watch it.
Yeah, I get it. You're trying to get wet. That's what they say.
I
in
would
the
watch
meth
that
scene.
show.
No,
if,
not the meth scene, the angel dust scene.
I would watch that show if the people that didn't take their inventions, they like hit a button, they fell through a trapdoor. That would make that show good.
Yeah, you should pitch that idea for them to use in their show and then try to sell that idea. And if they use
I
it,
should
like, it's
sell them. I
trademarked.
should sell them the trapdoor.
That should've been
Sell them the
Shark
trap
Tank
door
one.
for a show.
Right?
Drop into a Shark Tank.
Yeah, see, very disappointing. No dragons. Yeah.
Yeah, sharks are realistic. You
And
can
like
actually,
if they're like, oh, we invest nothing, and you go to the dragon's den. Your invention is terrible. One day in the dragon's den. You guys like Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I do.
yeah, that's good.
I don't. That's a controversial opinion.
Yeah, very. I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm way
Everybody
behind on
loves
but
it.
I'm way behind on it, and I don't really care if like spoilers.
You really
hit
like
me.
it? Are you
I
like
it,
you're all
I
caught
it.
up?
Yeah.
I don't like that time period. I think is the thing.
Time period.
Yeah.
It's not a time period.
How's it not a time period? It's
It's not.
it's like the medieval
real.
times.
She
No.
does,
It's
He's
fantasy.
saying he doesn't like medieval type
Yeah.
movies. Amanda doesn't either.
Ah.
Amanda doesn't.
The only one I like is
There's-
Black Knight
She's
with
a
Martin
girl.
Lawrence.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Dragon.
And that's
Yo, it's
not-
International Women's
wow,
Day, bro.
What the fuck? You really got to bring that up as I make the joke.
Wow.
Draw attention to
Me and Tom respect women.
No, I meant she's a chick. You know?
2/3 of the Bugle Boys
Yeah,
are
Yeah, I grew
respectful
up with
women.
sisters, so.
Do they like Game of Thrones?
I grew
Oh
up
my
with no
God, My
sisters.
sisters are the biggest nerds. man.
Actually, yeah, I know a lot of chicks who like Game of Thrones, but Amanda doesn't.
My
for
sister
whatever
read the entire Harry Potter series like 6 or 7 times in the span of like 2 years. She
Jesus.
was like super into that shit.
Yeah, true. It really is like kind of that like mythological kind of.
I don't know how Harry Potter ends either. I read the first 4 books. Triwizard Tournament's where I'm up to.
Jesus, man. Yo, I found out recently that
I'm a big fan of
Christine-
that Cedric Diggory fella. I hope he does well.
Found out recently my roommate has never read nor seen any of the movies, and I was like,
None?
what?
That's weird.
What? Because I feel like it was at that time in her life where she was like, too cool for that, and then it just got to a point where she was like, now I'm just out of the loop.
How? She was like the same age as us.
Yeah, but she was like probably one of those cool kids that was like, that's nerdy shit.
Too cool
Dude,
for
this
school?
was like elementary school, like grade
No,
3,
she's-
4, dog.
She's like 3 years older than us.
Nah, oh yeah, she's 30.
Well, easy.
That's 2 years. That's like 2 years.
Easy, y'all.
That's what I mean. She's only like 2 years. She's the same hood.
Either way, she's cool.
I feel like the
End of the
cool kids
story
watch
is she
jail.
hasn't
I mean,
seen it either.
I didn't read the books. I read the Philosopher's Stone. That's it.
You just watch the movies?
Whoa.
And then I watched a couple of movies, but I didn't watch many of them either.
Oh,
I don't think
shit.
it was like a cool thing. I just
Dude, I
never
get a
wasn't
weird
into it.
sadness in
Where
my
are you
stomach
at?
when the opening music plays to those movies.
Fuck if I know, dude.
Do you want to, hey, for all of our
I
Patreon
have no
subscribers,
idea where I'm at in the Harry Potter theories.
for all of our Patreon subscribers, we're going to rewatch the Harry Potter
Okay.
series, and we'll give you, we'll give our reviews.
Gotta give
There's
it
a podcast I saw.
a Harry Potter card.
No, it's like, I don't know what it was called. It's these 2 Australian dudes, and what they do is every week for 52 weeks, like for a full year, they watch Grown Ups 2, and then they did a podcast where they reviewed it.
Every week?
Every single week, they watched Grown Ups 2, and they'd never seen Grown Ups 1.
Huh.
Yeah, they just picked like
They
the,
rewatched the same movie for a year straight.
yeah, and it's because it had like the worst review on like Rotten Tomatoes, and yeah, apparently like they just like went crazy. They just like go crazy, and like they start like thinking it's like a really good movie at points, talking about like all these like hidden like plots and like conspiracy theories in it, and then at points that like they hate it and like they just want to quit and be done.
Like, we're done with this podcast.
Yo, that would be painful at like week 30.
Oh my god, man.
And
Well,
you're,
it's like yeah,
halfway
you're like oh,
through.
okay, we still got 22 weeks to go.
You're just sitting there trying to find something new to talk about.
Grown Ups 2, man. Imagine watching it again and again and again.
I imagine even the first, like, the
4.
second time. Yeah, after, like, 4 and 5.
4,
it
you'd be
would
like, why?
painful.
Okay, we've wasted a month doing this, like, and they're like, yeah, at
Wonder how
first,
many-
like,
I wonder how many behind the scenes conversations were
Right.
is this really fucking worth it? Like, what are we doing?
What do we for sure?
I want the lost tapes from that podcast.
Think about the sheer time on movie and
Podcasting.
discussion. That's like a lot of your life.
And it's like, I can only assume that those guys like were just getting stoned.
Hopefully.
They were drinking on the cast. I can assume they smoked.
The fact that you can watch any movie every week for a year is nuts to
Think
me.
about how crazy you would get, man. Even
Blow
a movie you
is
really
like-
liked.
Blow is like one of the few. Maybe Blow I could do.
This is such a
But then I would
teaser
get sick of it.
screensaver. Just waiting for
I
the door to
know.
open.
Sorry.
What else?
Just coughing.
What else is going down the tubes?
For movies that you want to watch every year?
No, for us.
The
Oh,
fuck?
should we do that? Should we watch a movie every year?
No,
Or
we
every
shouldn't.
week?
Year.
And I'm not doing it every year. Yeah,
I have a hard
maybe.
time keeping up with the music, man.
Nah, I don't watch a lot.
I
of
tried
shit.
watching that
I don't watch
Neverland
anything.
thing, but couldn't.
I watched that.
Oh, I downloaded Black Klansman today. I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, I
Yours.
want to watch that, yeah.
Yes, you guys didn't. Well, if you want to talk, did you watch Leaving Neverland?
No, I couldn't.
Did
find
anyone
out.
here watch Leaving
No,
Neverland?
we should. I haven't seen it, but I'd like to know about it because you called Tom Michael Jackson apologist on a previous episode.
Man, I don't even know how I feel about it, man. I watched it.
Oh, the R. Kelly interview.
Well, let me just.
I'll fight for my life.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's stay on topic.
My life.
Let's stay on topic because we're in a podcast, so
That is a topic.
it's wild when we jump around.
Michael Jackson and R. Kelly are kind of related.
No, they're on the same topic. But I was just saying.
But we
'cause
can't
you
even really talk about the
No,
Michael
you guys
Jackson
can't.
one.
But I'm just saying from my perspective of watching it. I mean, I don't even. Maybe,
Yeah, what was it like?
Should I just save it and not talk about it till you guys finally watch it?
I'm gonna watch it eventually, but you can talk about it too. I've heard people talk about it.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like it's.
My
new
mom
news.
watched it.
I mean, I guess
Did
it
she?
kinda
Did
is.
she?
Yeah.
Is she a Michael Jackson fan?
No,
Oh, I was a big Michael Jackson fan.
I mean she likes his music.
I got
She
Thriller
thinks he's
on
kind of a
vinyl.
piece of shit.
Yeah, he's wild and nuts, and I don't know what to believe.
Everybody has Thriller on vinyl.
You got
It's the most popular selling vinyl of all time.
good for you, dude. Good for you.
Hey, the Jerk Store called.
Yeah.
They're all out of you.
You're a jerk.
You
Jerk.
gotta.
Jerk.
Anyway. All right.
What's the other one though? What were you talking about there?
I was just talking about the Michael Jackson situation.
Yeah, but so how was the documentary?
Documentary, which I'm not fully through, but I'm like,
Oh, this guy.
I'm.
Shit's on us for not watching it. He hasn't even finished it.
No.
Maybe if you guys did your homework.
But I've gone through. I think it's like a couple parts. I think I watched the first like one or two or part of the second part. It's weird. Like, honestly, we should probably break it down more when we all watch it. But like, it is pretty like. I don't know how to gauge it fully. Like, the one thing I'm thinking about is the fact that it's only one side of the full story. There was a few weird points, a few weird things about the whole situation where the fact that these two kids, they testified and they pulled back the like they said, right? They were on trial. Like when
Recounted their statement.
yeah, well, the whole situation was happening. He was on trial. They did their statement and then they retracted it and said they were put up by their parents to do it. There's a lot of weird things about it. The one mom's like a stage mom and like trying to get their kid into like entertainment, I guess, and
Oh,
maybe that's what he's
jeez.
into.
Like a pageant
But-
mom kind of thing?
But it's weird. Nonetheless, the fact that like a grown man wants to have a kid hang out with them and stay over at their house and be there is just super strange.
It's
Doesn't make
weird,
any
right?
sense. So
Okay, but also terrible parenting.
I can believe it.
Absolutely.
100%. That's what I was about to say. Is that the one kid? I think Wade.
This is what's the
the one-
fishiest thing to me
One
about
sec.
it.
The one kid, Wade, his mom, I think they met Michael Jackson. I forget how they connected, but knew him for like a couple days, and they ended up coming to the ranch and staying there as a family. And then the family was continuing their vacation, and the kids stayed with Michael Jackson because Michael, he should stay, and the kid wanted to, and they said okay. Watch the documentary and we'll break it down. I'm gonna finish it and we'll break it down next week. But there was a really weird stuff like that where like. And it was like, okay.
I don't know, it
And you
just
got to
feels-
blame the parent. You got to look at the
Yeah,
parents and the way that they
totally,
went along with it because
100%.
they're talking like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. You want to let your kids stay with a grown man. They're at Neverland with the family. There's the guest area and Michael Jackson's like house in the main area. And he was like, let them stay in my room. And like his room had like a separate chamber for like a guest room.
for little boys.
The Chamber of Secrets.
And that's what
Harry
it
Potter.
seemed like from what they were talking about. And like the two gentlemen get into pretty graphic detail, which I don't know what to believe. At one point, you know what? I'm gonna stop now. Let's let's watch this week, and we'll break it
I'll
down
watch
next
it,
week.
yeah, I'll
We'll,
talk
we'll
about
break it
next
down
week.
next week.
Send me a link that works.
It's nuts. I'll try to send you one that you're not scared of. Tom's scared of getting a
just won't
virus.
It won't let me.
I
Dude, I
feel you.
googled it and it straight up said like it links to this website that's as soon as you hit the like login thing, it sends an execute virus into your shit.
We'll jam tomorrow and we'll throw it on.
Yeah, all right.
After we're done jam, we'll
Chop
watch
up
the
some
doc.
samples.
Watch
Yeah.
the dog. But no, it was nuts. We'll talk about it next week. But there was I don't know, man. Like I didn't want to believe all that stuff. Like you always knew it was weird, but you didn't really know. And it's just like shit. I don't know. I as a kid, like I remember as a kid listening to like my mom listening to Michael Jackson like with my mom as a kid, and like my dad be working late, we'd be having dinner, and we would have like a dance party, and like we'd be dancing to, like Michael Jackson Beat It. She'd be putting the records on. I remember like as a kid, like I loved Michael Jackson, and it was just like so like watching it, like I was like I don't even. But I mean I want to know because like if that's the case, man, that's disgusting, and I can't support that. And I don't know if I can listen to it.
But all you're going to hear is that now because there's no one that can say otherwise.
I know. That's my issue.
So that's kind of why.
Where's the other side, right?
I know. So that's kind of why, like.
I feel you.
It almost feels.
I feel you.
Like
That's
need
where.
To watch it, you know? Like I want to. I'm still going to, but I already know the outcome, and there's nothing that is going to be able to refute the other side of it. So.
That's why I haven't been wanting to finish it.
It's just going to kind of bias a lot of people's opinion now.
No, I know. That's the problem, right? Is because it's just their opinion, and it's we gotta watch it and talk.
I'm
about
gonna
it.
watch it before I say anything.
There's one
I'm
part
feeling
where there's
very strongly in the other
Do you think
direction.
Michael
now.
Jackson would have
there's
the same
one-
outburst that R. Kelly's having
and
right
there's
now?
and there's one part. There's one part in the video where one of the guys, Jimmy, I think it is, the first kid, he like talks about like how they like went to like a jewelry store and Michael Jackson was showing them a ring to put on. And like saying it was for a girl, but it was really for him. And then he's being interviewed with the rings, talking about him. And I'm like, how are you still have those rings and you're talking about them? And you're like, it pains me just to look at it. It was really weird, man.
Well, like
Sell it, get rid of it,
the one thing I know
throw
about
them out. Like I don't know. Like I haven't been in that situation. I can't talk about it. That was to me like if that sounds crazy. Like unless he fucked them up so bad that he wanted to keep the rings, because you're a kid and you're dealing with that stuff. I don't even know how
Stockholm
you. I don't know how you
yeah,
process
100%, man.
I don't know how you process that stuff, so it's not fair for me to judge.
Without
why you kept them. Looking at it from my perspective, and I'm just being honest, I thought that was strange. I would imagine I'd be like, that's disgusting. Throw them out. I want nothing to do with it. And like, but I'm not. I've never been in that situation. I can't talk about it.
We're selling it, so fuck you, right? Like,
yeah, get rid of it, make your money. But then again, I don't know. Like, you're a kid, and maybe you got fucked up by it, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
I can't talk about that too much.
Without having seen the
let's
documentary,
look at it, and we'll.
The one thing I know is that like the guys, like the I guess you have to say alleged, like the alleged victims.
Yep.
They say stuff that's like why would you kind of say that without, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they say some pretty like embarrassing stuff like to their own lives and that, like put themselves pretty much out there, and it's like.
And the one dude.
The one dude was like the
Vegas
one thing I know
guy.
is like the one guy believes like he was in like a relationship with Michael Jackson as a kid, and like they definitely got fucked up, man. I don't know who knows. I haven't seen the documentary, but like there's no way.
Makes it muddy.
There's no way. Like imagine being a child, like a regular child, and hanging out with Michael Jackson, like the biggest celebrity in the world, and like being in like a flirty like relationship where you don't know what's happening. Like I don't know, man. It's weird no matter how you slice it. Like if I got famous, I wouldn't be like, okay, bring me some kids to hang around.
No, it's
like
weird
no matter how you slice it, it's weird, man.
It's 100. Yeah, it's just weird overall.
Like like he's clearly got stuff wrong with him. I don't know exactly what happened, what he did. I haven't seen the documentary, so I don't want to comment too much. Michael Jackson, where there's smoke, there's fire, man. You don't hang out with kids all the time. I don't know. I'm gonna watch this.
No, but do you hear about the? Have you heard about? Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the cast. Have you heard about the theory about him being a castrato? Like, do you know what a castrato is?
Where they cut your balls off.
So yeah, castrato back in the day
Sing
was
higher.
they would basically
Mutilate
castrate
them,
you before you hit puberty, so your larynx
why
doesn't
he's got
fully
that.
develop. So you can keep a higher voice, right? So there's a theory going on about.
They called them
there's a-
eunuchs back in the day.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
some Game
theory.
of Thrones shit.
There's a theory behind it that, Michael Jackson could be a castrato. But I don't know.
So I wonder if that would mean there'd be no semen evidence ever either. Too.
And they talked about that. They talked about semen and shit, about
Yeah.
him jerking off and stuff. So like, if you're castrated, wouldn't you not have semen, right? Is that correct?
I don't know. Well, I mean,
I'm
I'm
not
assuming the balls are gone, but I don't know enough about it. I've never.
We're super ignorant for like trying to like figure it out.
That
I
would
have
also
no
looks
idea.
so weird, man.
It's a
Little
weird
flappy
thing. The
sack.
whole
With
Michael.
No balls?
Well, Michael Jackson
Flappy.
situation's
Wonder if
weird.
there'd even be a sack. Do you think there'd be a sack?
Where would the balls be?
You have a dog?
Or
You have a
like-
male dog?
But they specifically will like trim those up if it's a little too loose. I wonder what they would do with a human.
Probably. You must do the same. Or does it just retract?
Who
if you-
does it? Who does it though?
Imagine,
fuck
imagine
knows?
when it
That's
gets
what they
hot,
do.
If they didn't when it gets hot, he's just got like a loose vagina style ball sack hanging down. That would be. Oh my
Castrato
god! You'd
stuff's
probably
weird,
sit on
man.
it so much more.
That castrato stuff's
They
weird.
had to have tightened.
Yeah,
it up.
that getting your balls cut off stuff is pretty
So
weird.
you can sing?
It's pretty strange, fella.
Yeah.
I feel like you would sit on your dick so much more too.
But as a kid singer, like, what happens? You're like really good singing. You're like, you know what?
His dad
is a
fucked
cr-
him up.
yeah,
It's
this
probably
is-
his dad, man.
No, I'm just talking about castratos in general. Like back in the day, I guess whatever it was, like where they just like, you know what? You're a really good singer.
Yeah, the
you want to
boys
stay
in the
like
choir,
this?
they'd be
Let's
like-
clip your balls.
Yeah, we need you.
Nuts.
God loves your voice. God needs you to do this so you
Ooh,
can stay
Lordy.
singing to him.
Must be something religious to make him do that.
Yo, everything that's
Back in the day?
mutilation involving the genitals and shit like that
Oh,
is
yeah.
religion based.
I know. Dude, gender mutilation. Well, look at like being circumcised. Is that gender
Have you ever
mutilation?
seen how they do it?
Yeah,
It's
I think that's gender
crazy.
mutilation.
It's crazy. Have you ever seen it?
Mm.
It's basically like a little noose that they like
Yeah.
put around the baby's dick and then just go like yoink
Oh,
and it just like
Jesus Christ.
tears the fucking skin
Oh,
off.
like that they did the tooth in Jackass.
Kinda, yeah. Ugh.
Remember that? That fucked that guy's face up,
Yeah,
eh?
that's what I remember. I had
He
this
sued them for, I
conversation with-
think.
I had this conversation with my sister when her first kid came out, and I was like, "Are you gonna circumcise him?" And she was like, having a debate about it. I was like, "In this day and age, like, it's not really like necessary anymore. It's just not really like, we have showers on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You're not getting dick cheese stuck in there and getting all that, But she did it because her reasoning was, well, I don't want to have to explain to him why daddy's dick looks different. And I was like, yeah, I guess so, but like that could be a teaching moment at the same time. Like, everybody's different kind of thing, right?
That's fun. It's fun for the kids.
Yeah, but then at the same, and it's better for sex, isn't it? Like you got more. I won't know because I got mine stolen from me as a youth. But
yeah, I was gonna say I don't like. Maybe that's a good thing. Like maybe you're like not a good thing, but like
I wish
I'm
I
happy
had
I
that.
am.
I wish I had that sheath.
I don't.
I
I'm
think
good.
It looks disgusting. I think uncircumcised penises look gross.
No, that's
offense
what I
to
mean. Like
anyone else.
I'm glad.
They
I'm
just-
glad mine is the
Growing
way
up,
it is.
seeing what I've seen between my legs, I'm just accustomed to that.
Yo, we're
Nice
alienating
head.
a big group, man. That's not nice.
Yeah,
Not-
no, I'm
not
just
that
saying.
big.
I think that's probably what a lot of people would say. They just look weird as shit.
Well, it's just because it's not typical. Like it's just not like.
Yeah.
And you're probably thinking because like how many porns do you watch where you never.
You never see them limp. That's not
True.
gonna be in a porno.
Yeah, true.
I bet you there actually is. There's definitely fetishes for that.
For limp dicks?
Limp uncircumcised dicks. For
Oh,
sure.
jeez.
For
Yo, there's
sure.
something for everybody,
Yeah,
right?
there's- I
So
forget
you
what
were
Is
it's
there
called.
just
It's called,
like a limp-
Rule 27 or something where there's
Oh,
a
where
porn
anything
for,
you
like,
can think of.
anything, yeah.
There's a porno for it.
Anything you can think of.
Do you think there is a limp dick porno?
Yes.
There is for sure. Yeah, I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah. Some dude's just
I don't know
having a
why
hard
I
time
asked,
keeping
yeah.
it limp. He's just like, oh god, stay flaccid.
Imagine that though, just like you just got like a rock hard dick. You're like, yeah, soft dicks just get me off. Like,
Yeah,
look at how much softer that dick is than mine.
I don't know, man.
Like, I guess just
Probably.
people like, yeah, whatever strokes your boat or whatever the saying is.
There's something for everybody. How are those edibles feeling, kid?
I'm impervious to edibles. I told you.
Damn. Yeah, it was only 150 milligrams. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You should take 300.
I will. It's like 1,000 right now.
Right
Do you
now.
want another 150?
Yeah, sure.
Do you?
No, I gotta drive in a minute.
I'll bait yourself out. Nah, you'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I mean, that's a good question though. Like I mean, I'm happy that I am, I guess. Circumcised. I'm cool with it. I'm like I like the deal I got. I don't know what I
Yeah.
would. But what do you yeah. So you had that your sister had that conversation with her husband, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and I had that conversation with her, like that exact conversation I just told you about.
Yeah.
This is the worst podcast.
No. You
No,
are
people gotta know.
the circumcised podcast?
Yeah, for real.
Someone's gotta talk about it.
Yeah, we're handling the big
Pushing
issues.
the
Yeah.
envelope.
Dude, people want to know what your opinions are about circumcision. But it is nuts.
It's not nuts.
It's not. It's the penis.
It's all the general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same hood.
It's all the dick.
It's the same hood.
Huh?
It's like a hood.
You got it.
But yeah, the R. Kelly.
Wow. We were talking about Michael Jackson.
I know, but
Speaking of,
I brought him up a couple times through it.
Yes,
so I wanted
yes.
to-
You want to jump?
oh,
in?
I wanted to bring
Yeah.
something up too.
No, but anyway, we'll talk about Michael Jackson next week. You
Yeah.
Speaking
watch
of
the
documentaries-
one second. Watch the documentary. We'll talk about it next week. But
Yeah.
it's fucking weird. Man.
Speaking of documentaries, I saw the Mr. Rogers documentary.
I
Shout out
watched
to
it.
that guy for not fucking kids. Kids around him all the time. Fuck 0 kids. No question about it.
Yeah, he
He fucked 0 kids. He had a wife that he fucked and made a kid with. I'm sure they had very like missionary sex.
Mr. Rogers and
Mr. Dressup?
Mr. Dress Up. That's what I was thinking of. There's a Mr. Dress Up one coming out soon too.
Good. Hopefully he didn't fuck any kids either. Shout out these documentaries that aren't about fucking kids. Too many fucking kids
what's
documentaries
weird, though? I
now.
was watching that Mr. Dress Up one Mr. Rogers one, and
He's so nice.
I know, but there's something about him that gave me still like a bit of a creepy vibe. Like,
I don't even think I wouldn't be surprised to find out he was like a serial killer.
I know, like,
Like
it
just
was
straight Dexter in it.
something about when he was just like.
Have you seen Kidding? Kidding's an
Uh,
amazing show with Jim Carrey.
No, I don't think.
Oh, it's so good. But he basically plays Mr. Rogers. Like he plays he's a actor in like a children's show, and he's basically Mr. Rogers. But like one of his kids died, and he's like losing it mentally. And it's it's a crazy show.
Yeah.
It's about like Mr. Rogers having a mental breakdown, basically.
heavy.
Very heavy, very very dark episodes.
Probably.
Jim Carrey's the man. Jim Carrey's one of my favorite actors.
So y'all shut it down already twice, but R. Kelly.
Yeah, R. Kelly.
I didn't shut it down. I'm
you-
down to talk R. Kelly.
All right, no, but seriously, did you watch the? You guys watch the Gale?
Dude, I
Interview with
honestly
Gail?
thought that
He's fighting
he
for his
only
life.
wanted to do that just so he could have
Cry,
an
yeah.
outbreak like that and show
100%.
how emotional he was about it.
He looked like he was on Trapped in the Closet. Like he was
Yeah.
way overacting. Like it was so fake, man. It was one of the,
almost looked like he was just waiting. For
everyone
that
agrees with
moment.
this, right? Like I'm not out of line
Did you
here.
watch the follow up with the 2 girls?
No. On the
Where's your tea? Where's your tea? Because I'm gonna spill it.
with that host,
Spill
with
the
the
tea.
lady host,
Yeah. So they went on and she interviewed the 2 of them.
right after.
I didn't see. I didn't watch it either, but I watched a few radio shows and interviews where they talked about it, and they showed clips. But I guess so they went on and talked about it, and kind of essentially, from what I hear, is they regurgitated what he said, kind of like from their point, but the same stuff. Sounded like they were coached. He was in the building apparently. They were talking about how they could hear him cough, to let him know like he was there.
That's happened before.
right? Like
There
so
was
he
an
there
interview
trying to,
like a victim or whatever did where she was like, no, like Robert wouldn't do that, and you
was
can
the
see him like no, this has happened before, and you
Oh.
can see him like in another camera like just standing over her, like basically just like finger wagging,
yeah. From what it
and it
seemed
was
like,
like
it was very,
incredibly creepy. People kind of like blew that off, and apparently it happens.
from what it seemed like, yeah, this one was a very coached as well. But they went in the next time, like a day or the next day later, and
Were
was,
these two of
regurgitated.
the non?
The last 2 girls that are with him, I think.
He's not smart. You know what I mean?
Can't read or write.
He's not smart. Like he's just genuinely not a smart. Like all his plans, like it's like, oh, like it's so obvious what he's doing. He's like, it's like a like, you know what I mean? It's
His
like
main argument was like, why would I do this? Why would I jeopardize my career? Which is like not a good argument. You know, like it's like because what we're arguing here is
Because
that
you're
you're
a sick
fucked up
fuck,
person.
yeah.
So like your career obviously is not something we're arguing about.
Yeah.
No, you're not thinking about your career. You're just fucked.
Why would I do this? You know, and he's like, all I want is a relationship.
because you're a
with my
sexual
kids.
predator.
But
Yeah.
then, did you see he just went to jail over not paying child
Support. Yeah, I know.
So that makes that whole argument kind of fall through too.
100%.
The guy is a piece of shit. There's no doubt about it. No matter how you break it down,
No, for sure. He's got issues. Like he's fucked.
he's a
Like,
piece of shit.
this stuff. Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I'll put that on.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
I
We'll
don't feel
put
like
that
I
on
don't feel like
record.
that's a hot take.
No, that's not a hot take. I think that's like a general consensus
Yeah.
at this point.
Oh, I want hot cakes. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah.
We should order some eats after
Oh,
this.
yeah, I'm hungry as shit.
Yeah, we'll Uber some eats or some shit. Get it poppin'.
Popeyes.
Popeyes. There's one down the street apparently that's
closed.
opened up by White Oaks.
It's not open anymore.
Why you checked?
Well, no, I just mean by the time
Checks over stripes.
Checks over stripes. But yeah, that's wild. We're at about an hour and 26 minutes, boys. Should we wind her down?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Hey, we didn't do our fast lane picks.
Fast lane. What the?
WWE fast lane.
Oh, the wrestling.
And I didn't get to give my concert
We're getting
reviews.
dragged back in. Well, you know what? We should touch on that. We
Nobody
should touch on
nobody
that.
cares about what's going on in my life, you know?
Oh, no one. No, yeah. Sorry, Papi Chulo over here, Mr. Vintage 905 worldwide,
Hey.
but mainly in Whippy.
Hey.
Actually, worldwide. You probably say your shit.
I'm international.
He's international.
Internationally known, locally respected.
There you go. Let them know what you're about. selling
Snoop
clothes.
Dogg said.
I heard you're almost interplanetary.
Ooh,
We're
one
gonna
day,
be
baby.
the first vintage shop on Mars. I heard.
Ooh,
That'd be pretty tight. I should just ship a package to
And then you
Mars
could
to
call
nobody.
it like Earth Vintage.
Ooh, vintage Earth.
Vintage Earth. I know. As soon as I said that, I was like, "Fuck, I missed that one."
Hell yeah.
Anyways, continue with the.
But yeah, yo, break
It
it.
was
So how was
lit.
the concert? You went and
So-
saw who? Well, break it. Who
I had a
saw and
busy
who
week,
opened?
man. Yeah, I've been having a good time. Life's been good. Got my purple belt at Jiu-Jitsu on Monday.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Boom, boom, boom.
that was fun. That was nice. So that was Monday. And then Tuesday, I went to the Vince Staples JPEG Mafia show
Nice.
at Rebel in Toronto, and that was really good. Really, really good, man.
Rebels are fucking sick.
Rebel
man.
Oh,
is
that was
fun.
this week. That's
This
why you were talking about it. I'm like wondering why you're like
Yeah.
talking about it. I'm like, I didn't even know this was this week.
Yeah, doubled down this week. 2 shows in a week, man. So that was Tuesday. It was there was a Katori Walker, I think the guy's name was an opener. Never heard of him. He was really good. And then JPEG Mafia was crazy. Like he was all up in the crowd and like jumping off
Nice.
shit, and like that was really wild. And Vince Staples is a really good performer, man. Like he had a really cool like visual it was like there was like it would look like security cameras on the like the big screen behind him. And it was like there was like a camera of like the crowd, then like one of him, and like some of the screens were cracked. Like it just looked really cool visually.
I didn't really like when his performance at the Mac Miller tribute.
That one was kind of weird though, because it was only like what song they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the way. I don't continue.
Yeah, but like it was a really good performance where he's like, he doesn't like he's got a good stage presence without like overly doing stuff. Like he's never like pandering to the crowd or anything. Like he just kind of like performs his songs and they bang, and like it got wild. Like we were pretty far near the back, and like a lot of people like around us. So like everybody was like jumping, and it had people going. It was really good.
It helps when it's a good crowd, and if you're at a big venue like Rebel, which is like, it's got a pretty big stage and like, you know, a long back. It's a long room, right? Like it's longer than it is wide.
Yep.
Like you can get if you get a good crowd, like
Oh, it was a great crowd.
it really
The
helps like the
craziest thing
vibe.
about that venue is the sound isn't shit. Remember how when it
Oh,
was
so
Sound
bad at
Academy?
Sound Academy.
Sound Academy,
Yeah.
if you're at the back, was
Their
just, you
acoustics
couldn't
are
hear
way
shit.
better
It's like,
there.
I think it's because
crystal clear.
I
at
think
the
they blew
back,
their
like-
speakers out and like just never replaced them at Sound Academy or
It was
something. It
not-
sounded
it was just
so
the way
bad.
the way the
was
room was
built,
set up,
It was
yeah.
so.
It
You
just
sound like.
canceled out certain frequencies and shit.
And
And I
you
think
said
they
that-
always knew they were trying to evolve. Like they knew well
it was
before
kinda
they were.
just a warehouse.
You
right?
know,
Like,
well,
They had,
they knew probably a year or so ahead that they were gonna do that. Like that was a plan, right? So they were like, all right, we're not gonna go over and invest to fix this issue.
yeah.
Let's evolve into this new spot.
The thing I'll never
What they
forget
did.
about Sound Academy was they kept the bathrooms like right beside like the front of the stage.
Yeah.
So if you had to go to the bathroom, you went to the front of the stage, and then you just wouldn't go back to the back of the crowd, and like fights would happen because people would like go into the bathroom and then like cut to the front of the stage, and they'd be like, "Yo, like what?" Like, you know what I mean? After people have been waiting for like however long to get their spot.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm like super happy not to be a front stage
Oh,
person
same.
anymore. Like I'm like put me in the back. All I want to do is be somewhere that sounds good, and
Yeah.
I'm nice. It sounds good. I can
and
see.
I'm not packed in tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really a
100%.
fan of that anymore.
100%.
Unless it's cold out and you're at a festival, then it's nice to be in the crowd.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like camping rules.
Yeah, late night.
Yeah.
Yeah. huddle with the
Dude, get off me! I'm
boys.
just cold, man. Chill.
It's camping. It's camping rules.
Yeah.
I.
And then last night I went and saw Travis Scott and Check West.
Live Shack West.
I died Check West actually.
Nice.
Yeah. It was really good. It was fun.
Did he have hoes calling his mobile phone?
Yeah, he opens with that for like a couple seconds, then goes into his thing. Everyone went crazy, like, and then just.
Oh, he only opened it for. He didn't play.
He closed with it too, but like he
Ah.
opened it at, like for 30 seconds of it. Everybody just like jumped out of their seats.
Yo,
They were-
for sure.
They were so excited for Mo Bamba,
Smart. And then he stopped it,
and then he brought it
went,
back around.
and then he ended it. He started again fully at the end.
Yeah.
So he ends with it, but he gets you hyped, and then he just goes into other shit, and then he ends with the full track. Cool.
It was fun, man. It was good times. Beers are $27 for 2, which is ridiculous.
Wild.
Yo, do you think he had to do that because his
He
last
know.
album wasn't the best?
He? Travis Scott?
No. Sheck West.
I had to do what?
Did you like Sheck West's album?
No. Oh, no. Mo Bamba's definitely his biggest song.
So what I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
do you think that he opens with
Oh,
it
yeah,
and then ends
for
with it? He
100%.
has to start with it to get them hyped.
100%.
I
Play
saw.
his album that I don't think was as
Chippy.
I saw Rich Homie Quan back in the day, and he opened and closed with Type Away. Like sometimes you got to do it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people wrote off Rich Homie Quan when he didn't remember the Biggie lyrics.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
He was
He performed on
redoing.
a BET.
To what song? Oh, well, he was
Yeah.
doing like a tribute thing and he fucked it up.
Yeah.
What
and
song?
He fucked up the Biggie lyrics. I can't even remember which one song he
That's
sung.
bad.
Yeah. And then ever since that, I don't think I've heard a peep from him that I've been too
He's been
jazzed over.
blacklisted.
That's like, come on, man. And I mean, like, I feel like it was a big Biggie track. I can't even remember which one it was, but like, if you're gonna go on and do that, you're gonna go on for a performance and read and like do a tribute to a legend like that.
Especially Biggie.
Get the
It's like
fucking lyrics right.
I know all the
and
lyrics.
especially Big, yeah.
Like pull it like I'm gonna search it. I can almost guarantee you I know the lyrics to whatever song it was that he was singing. Like it's crazy. It's fucking Biggie, man.
As soon as the instrumental goes on,
Who
right?
doesn't know
As soon as
Biggie
the
lyrics?
instrumental goes on, you probably got it right.
That's crazy. Fuck man, Rich Homie Quan. I like him too.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. But that was one thing that made me. I thought about that. I was like, yeah.
You know who I like? I wish I was doing better. Like I don't know if they're doing bad. Like he's not. They're not sick or anything. Like
No, I wish was like, you know.
I just wish they were like had hit songs. Still Trinidad James.
Yeah, what happened to
I like
Biggie?
Trinidad James quite a bit.
Well, he was a straight bust once it realized he was
Gold on my
100%
watch.
bullshit, right?
No, you know what?
He was
I'm
like,
sorry.
Wasn't he like close
I'm sorry.
to
Let
the
me
industry plan?
let me apologize to Rich Homie Quan. It wasn't even him. It was at the same show, and Trinidad James was at the same show. It was Wiz Khalifa's tour when he brought like a bunch of like smokers with him. It was Rich Homie Quan had a good set actually. Trinidad James opened with all gold everything and closed with it. That's what it was. Yeah, because Rich Homie Quan played.
Damn, that changes
Yeah.
everything, but that doesn't change my thought
It's
on
pretty
Rich
much the
Homie
same-
Quan. So
yeah.
I'm still fine with that because that was the Biggie thing that kind of fucked me up with him. I could have seen that. Trinidad James, I 100% believe because he kind of just died off. He had some label shit. He kind of fucked up. I think he lost his luster when they realized he was just 100% bullshit. Like he wasn't really like about any. Like he was just like.
Oh, that's a hard.
Wasn't
song.
he just a straight like character?
I mean, most of them are they not?
Yeah, true. But didn't he get pretty much like shown, like outed as a character?
Trinidad James?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was his, he was? But he doesn't.
Something happened with his label. Why they remember they were
Yeah,
supposed to
but
drop an
what was
album and then
he-
he didn't.
Whoa, it was Get Money. That's hilarious.
Right.
That's a bad track to forget.
Get Money became Forget Money.
Sorry,
Great headline.
sorry. Just for if you're not, they're talking about the Rich Homie Quan Biggie conundrum where he forgot the Get Money lyrics.
Mhm.
Not cool.
Not the best. Like, how could you do that though?
Bad luck.
Dude, it's not even like you're at a club and you're drinking and then like you're caught on camera.
You're
it's
performing.
Like you had a scheduled performance to do a tribute to this. God damn it, you never heard the song.
it's
God
like
damn it, remember the song. You know
didn't.
what I mean? Like,
you didn't
come
show up to
on.
like a radio station and they're like, "All right, freestyle about this to this beat," and you just panicked. You
Yeah.
knew exactly what you had to do.
No, you're doing a tribute to a classic. You're doing a classic tribute.
If you don't know the words, you just learn them. Like
yeah,
it's,
fuck, man.
it's
That's the thing I think.
I
that
listened
pissed
to
off most people.
I listened to this wrestling podcast. Store Horseman and Tony Hinchcliffe is on it. And he told
I
this.
I like Tony and
I love
don't
Tony.
watch the podcast.
He told this story about how when he was like it was like a startup like young comedian and like an actor in that, they were doing Book of Mormon was doing like casting, and he was like casting like to be on the Broadway play, and he said like he learned like the songs and like he's like he learned the song and like all his lines and that, and he went to the audition and like he's like I could tell the guy was like, "Oh, you're perfect, like we love you for this," and he's like, "I did my lines," he's like, "I sang the song," like, "Oh, like perfect, like you've absolutely nailed it. Like now just take like this whole like they're in like a big room. He's like, just take the whole room, like half an hour, whatever you need." He's like, "We're gonna come back and do all the dance scenes," and he's like, "Oh, like I didn't know like there was gonna be any dance. Like he didn't know like that was a part of it. Never practiced, never like didn't even know what they were." He's like, "I should have just been like, oh, I thought we were just doing lines and singing today. Like I can learn it and come back." And instead he just went, "Yep," and just like doubled down and was like,
Yo, really?
yeah. He was like, "Okay, perfect. Like I'll practice." And then the guy came back and he didn't get the role.
Damn.
He said like right after the guy goes, "You improvised a lot of that."
He's like, yeah, I had no idea what you
And
wanted
he
me
says,
to
"I
do.
doubled down again and went, yep."
Damn.
It was such a good story.
Yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe's good comedian.
But yeah, that's what Rich Homie Quan did. He's like, doesn't know the lyrics. He's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go out there and fucking nail it." How can you go out without knowing the lyrics?
No, but yo, he knew that well in advance.
That's
Is what's even worse.
That's what I mean. Like, how can you be like?
No, but
you,
like,
you have to be like. You have to be
the-
like. You know
the
what?
story-
You have to be like,
Not
look.
even the full song.
You have to be like, look. I fucked up. I don't know the lyrics. I can't go out. We can't do this.
Yeah, the story. Well, the story you told. He had advance notice too, probably, but he
didn't know
was
part of it,
misinformed.
right?
He was
Yeah,
misinformed.
exactly.
Rich Homie Quan had one job.
Oh,
Sing
yeah.
the goddamn fucking Biggie song
But
and then get off
I'm
the
just saying
stage.
he just chose to double down. Instead of being like, I don't know the lyrics, he was like, fuck it. Lil' Kim, let's rock. Like, let's go out and do this.
I didn't follow up on it. Did he like explain? I wonder if he explained
He-
it. Was he
he
like,
put out an
oh, I
apology."
got like fucked up and I totally forgot it? Like, did he say that?
He put out an apology,
I
apparently.
can't remember. Oh, he definitely must have put out an apology. That's nuts,
My
though.
bad.
Rich Homie Quan apologized for messing up Biggie lyrics. There's a picture of him wearing a Coogee sweater.
Oopsies. Do you like the Cooge?
Oh, his whole performance here. Let's watch this after.
Oh, we will.
Oh my God, he didn't put this. It's clearly his publicist put this out. I assure that I never intended to disrespect the memory of Biggie Smalls. I have long respected his work and contribution to the rap game. I greatly apologize not only to Biggie Smalls, but to all of my fans, Biggie Smalls fans, and New York. The city of New York has been nothing but it goes on and on and on. Jesus, yeah, that's a publicist apology if I've ever seen it. I will forever be sorry to New York, my fans, Biggie. You already said that. Jesus.
That's sad. Disappointing, man. I'm disappointed in that.
Yeah,
We will watch that after, though.
it's not good, eh?
No, it's not good.
It's not a good look.
No. It was brutal. Like it was.
How can you do that?
No, it especially to like that artist.
It doesn't even make sense in any other scenario. Imagine like you're just like going to like a Hall of Fame like induction, and it's like for Derek Jeter, and you're like, yeah, I love Alex Rodriguez. like what could you do to like fuck it up that badly?
Or like you just read off like, yo, which teams he didn't play for. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like it's just something's like totally off balance with like just like, okay, like
He was a great hockey player. Like how can you? Yeah, you
No.
can't fuck it up that bad in any other
No.
scenario.
And even at the end of it, at the bottom line, even like disregarding the fact that he's rapping a classic tribute, he is a performer who's been asked to do performance that came to do it and just didn't show up. So like, what was going through your head when you were like, yeah, I'm never gonna practice this. I'm not actually a fan because I don't know the lyrics. If you're a fan, you probably knew the song pretty well. You're like, oh, I should probably go up on it and practice, brush it up to get it exact.
I don't
But
understand
if you're
how
just-
you can
if-
double
but
down.
like if you're just but if you're like obviously you're
The
not a fan of
ego
Biggie.
is
If
a
you're a fan of
crazy
Biggie, you know the
thing.
track. If you're a fan of Biggie, you know the song. You know the song. If you're a fan
It's
of
probably
fucking
one of
hip
those
hop,
things where he
you
was
should
given
know the song.
opportunity, and he was just like,
But-
yeah, because if he said if he was like, yeah, I don't know, they'd give it to someone else, and he's like, oh, I can't lose that spotlight.
I'm not saying
Must
I
have
don't
been.
know Rich Homie
Or
Quan,
maybe
so
this was like trying to go viral.
I don't know. I don't. That's pretty funny
The
actually.
Worst viral. Well, I mean, it
Any
didn't do
PR is
shit
good
for his
PR.
career. Like, where's he at?
I don't know him, so like I don't. But like some people are just like sociopaths. You know what I mean? And like that Tony Hinchcliffe story. He started telling it because there was a story about like this girl who used to wrestle, and there was like the Total Divas show, like their reality show. There's a guy who's like a dancer, like that's his thing, and he like used to come down to the ring and let like classically trained like salsa dancers, and they would dance. And she was like, "Oh, like I want to be one of them." And the guy's like, "Are you a dancer? Like, are you professionally trained?" And she's like, "Yes." And then just same thing, just hadn't done it. And then like on the show, they were like, it was probably fake for the show. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, like I can't do it." And the other girl's like, "You got to tell him." She's like, "No, I'm just gonna own it." And then, like,
Ah.
I just like to think of Rich Homie Quan like backstage, like Lil Kim's like, "You don't know the lyrics? Just gonna own it." Like nailing it.
Let's wrap this up
This
so
makes-
I can watch this clip.
This makes
now.
no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
Just with this, but I don't know.
Because you
I
can't,
would really
you
like
can't
to
see a
know his-
scenario where it's gonna go good.
Exactly. I want to know his mind.
Like, do you
frame
think he
and-
was just gonna go out and like dance to the beat and people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's Rich Homie Quan.
Oh yeah, he's good.
He's got the
good.
Coogee sweater
What
on."
is he gonna hold the mic the whole time? Be like,
The
y'all
crowd just
sing it."
raps. Yeah,
crowd raps.
y'all know this one, right? I don't.
Hold the mic out. Crowd raps. Crowd raps. Boom.
Who's
No.
more alive, the left side or the right side?
Hey man, maybe that was his thought, but god
I
damn,
thought he was just gonna go rock it out on vibes.
clearly not. But you know what? He gave his best shot.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully he's doing well.
Yeah.
Learn much from him.
Astro World, great concert. Companies, if you're listening, send us to concerts for free and we'll review them.
We will review them live on here. Any artist, promotion company that wants to send us, we will show up. We will show out. We will review, and we'll give you our honest thoughts and hot takes.
We will show up and we will glow up.
Ooh, let them know.
On
We're
the
here for the
weekend, I
people.
accidentally throw up.
Yeah, sometimes. Where do you throw up? Trying to bait him into
You
telling
said
some stories
you
to
said
some friends.
you specifically said you weren't gonna bring that up. On
I
it.
know. We're not going to, unless you want to.
Nah.
Now you should tell a fun story. Gino, tell a fun story about yourself before we wind this down.
Yeah.
Tell the fucking story. It's
Alright.
hilarious.
Well,
You think she's gonna listen?
no, that doesn't.
Fucking tell it, bud.
Well,
Tell us your last weekend experience before we wind this down. Let's wind. You know what? We're gonna wind this down. This is nearing the end of the podcast. Let's
Gino story time.
slow it down with a little story from our good friend Uncle Gino on his last weekend and just how it went.
basically, I ended up at this lady's house for the first time.
First time
We'd been talking for a little bit.
talking
and
for a bit.
Wanted to end up there.
He was hoping. You were hoping, right?
I
Like, you been
was.
feeling
I
around, right?
wanted to end up there.
So how long
and
you been talking to her for a bit?
Just like a week and a bit or whatever.
You guys go on any dates or anything? Hang out?
It's whatever. Let's bosey over that.
I'm trying to build it
But,
up. I need to build up the anticipation.
But so we decided to
so
meet.
the listeners really get.
We
Like,
decided to meet up after I'd been out with the fellas.
it was a man's night, hey?
Yeah,
with the
it was we at
boys?
Johnny Cal's for the OC.
Yeah, it was. I didn't go. I
Oh,
was
you
at-
weren't
I was
there?
at
That's
my
right.
brothers, and then I
Yeah,
got too
that's
drunk
right,
at my
yeah.
brothers, and I had to. I was like, I'm just gonna go.
The fact I
home.
forgot you weren't there, I should explain.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
the
no, I
story,
thought you
man.
were there. Never mind.
No. This explains the story.
Yeah,
much.
so I had some beers with the fellas and ate a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza with the boys. Had a bunch of beers. Watched the fight, so he was excited, jumping up and down.
And then we ended up meeting up, and I went over there.
Went over to the new girl's house.
I overexerted myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
Stretching too much.
Yeah. And I ended up throwing up at her house a lot.
Where'd you throw up in the bathroom?
In the bathroom, yeah.
Sink?
No, toilet.
Good.
Why are you gonna go right to the sink unless there's an issue with the toilet?
No, I'm just.
A lot of people throw up right in the sink.
Yeah,
It's a
who does
classic
that?
move.
It is.
It's
People do that.
because It's like higher.
It's higher,
up.
yeah.
It's not as
It's a
much
lot
on
more
your-
work,
when you
yeah,
lean over more and you
100%.
puke, it goes more to your head.
I would say probably
Is that a classic move? I never would ever think to
Rob
do
When
has
we
peed
lived in,
my sink like 100 times.
when we lived in Dollhouse, you guys came over for a party,
not
and
educated.
T-Bone threw up in my sink.
That's other classic move. T-Bone does it.
T-Bone loves throwing up in sinks.
Should we get T-Bone on the cast next
Yeah,
week?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, we might have the guest T-Bone on. We've mentioned him before.
It's hard to get him out.
So yeah, that's
We'll
what
get him out Friday. If you know what?
that's what happened in my love life.
Let's check it. If we can make it a Friday cast, we can probably get him, right?
I don't know. Probably not.
He's a Friday guy. I
Someone will
feel
have to
like.
drive him. He
That's
doesn't
what- well,
Yeah.
you live with
lift
him.
him.
You
Yeah,
live
but
with him.
He's very
doesn't leave the house, yeah.
self-motivated, Like, what's he gonna get out of this? Nothing. He's probably not gonna want to come.
Are you kidding me? He's gonna want to come hang out and drink beers. He hates being alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fridays are he hangs out with his brother and his brother's friends.
Yeah, but if we come here and do this, and then we go,
Maybe we should just bring the whole
we'll
gang.
talk to him. You know what? I'm gonna call him after that. I'll call him up.
Let's call him right now on air and ask him
Yo, I
what's
need to
on.
go eat. I gotta.
We will.
I'm starving.
I know. I'm fucking.
But
sorry.
but yeah. So you puked in the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, so that wasn't the
Okay,
best.
not as bad. I thought you like did it like in her like bed or like in the room.
like
I was like,
mid-stroke. Yeah.
yeah. I was
Nah.
like, that was mid, eh? We don't smoke
Almost.
mids,
Like,
but whatever.
that's almost what happened. I had to run.
That is difficult.
But I
That's
made it.
stressful.
Can you imagine how much worse it would have been to like throwing up in the kitchen?
No one was home. She lives on her own.
No, she got roommates.
All right, at least his roommates, not folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it work.
Yeah. It's
Make
not
it
the
work.
worst thing to ever happen, but it's not the best.
How'd it go after? Like she was like cool with it.
I stayed there.
Then you're good,
yeah.
bro. What are you even tripping
She wouldn't
about?
let me use her toothbrush.
Well, yeah.
That's
I said I
okay.
would buy a new one, but apparently it was electric, and I didn't realize it. Apparently those are expensive.
Dude, you've never done the old just like throw some toothpaste in the mouth.
That's what
and
I did.
swish
Oh yeah, I
around?
gave it a gurgle.
Yeah, I do that, and I'll make it work.
Yeah, but I wanted to use a toothbrush.
I never even thought they'll be like, yeah, can I borrow your?
I used it before.
That's not necessary.
I used it before I threw up.
Ew.
You think that's weird?
Hell
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Dude, you know
Really?
what? Some other chick.
Hell yeah, that's fucking.
I think
weird.
that's super weird, Tom. But I've had another girl who we all know, same thing at my house, and I was like, no, you're not using that.
Yeah,
I
fuck
put my foot
that.
down, and I was like, no.
You
Like
know
that's
what's-
not a thing. You're
Why?
not using my toothbrush.
You
I
probably
don't
just
care
ate her
how well I
butthole
know
a
you.
minute ago.
It wasn't my, and it's
Food
not Amanda, my
gunk from other
fiance.
people's mouth.
Yeah, but you
or-
put your tongue in her butt.
No, who?
I don't
What
know.
did I do?
Your hypothetical girlfriend.
I don't need to
That you
taste what
share
you.
a
Hey, bro,
toothbrush with.
I don't need to taste what you have for lunch, dog.
Yeah.
Live your own life. You can swish your mouth out
That's
with
definitely
toothpaste and
something
water
I'm
tonight.
Not cool with.
Oh, are you kidding?
Fuck that.
For
man.
sure.
After you're just like spitting in each other's mouths and that,
So
you're not
saying-
gonna share a
So you
toothbrush.
and your girl just have a communal toothbrush? You guys are disgusting.
Are you gonna save money by like just getting one when you move in?
Yeah, that's gross.
You gonna move
as
in with her and
shit.
share a brush?
That's such
No,
an
what?
Oshawa thing, man. That's totally what it is.
Shit. Never mind. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Forgot. You're from the
Shit,
Schwa.
Yeah, it makes sense.
This chick's not from the Schwa, though.
She's a Schwa girl.
The one I'm thinking of that tried to use my toothbrush, and I
Ah.
was like, that's not happening.
She probably has some Schwa in her lineage somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be.
1/16 Schwa.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a thing, apparently. For
Good
them
times.
Schwas. Well,
That's it.
that's it for the boys tonight. I think this was a good podcast. Broke down some albums. We'll touch base next week on the Michael Jackson.
Should we all put our
Shit.
hands in the middle?
Maybe another time. It's been fun. This is Bugle Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Stax Chrissy, joined with my fellow co-host, Poppy Chulo, Vintage 905, and a man's long sleeve, Steve, Ill Audible, in this bitch. You know what we're called. It's the Bugle Boys Podcast.
Catch us on the
Bugle Boys.
socials.
Bugle.
Bugle Boys.
Yes, before I sign off, catch us on the goddamn socials. That's at the Bugle Boys Pod on Twitter, and that's at the Bugle Boys Podcast on Instagram. You can hit us up on all streaming platforms. We are on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, and SoundCloud. And like, subscribe, and share, and check us out on YouTube if you want to catch the video.
Sign up for our Patreon.
And one day when we do have that, please fucking sign up for our Patreon.
It's good to get in the habit of saying it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the
Bugle Boys.
We seeing you later. Later, baby.